This is just for first place. I don't really care for that. Boston earns at least a single point against Minnesota, or Ottawa loses to Toronto. Minnesota wins in regulation against Boston, or Minnesota wins in overtime and Ottawa loses in regulation to Toronto. Now, Ottawa loses in regulation and Minnesota loses. Ottawa loses in overtime. Or Ottawa loses in overtime and Minnesota does not win in regulation. Minnesota loses to Boston. Ottawa wins against Toronto. So, yep. This is where we are. This is what we're doing. This is her 8th straight start, by the way. Alright, here we go, boys. Toronto. Makes me mad. Like commentators, yeah, that's fine. Reporter, that's fine. Like, these are fine. But if you're talking about like a place or a team, like, at least this is red. So they're doing a whole bunch of stuff. Like referees, that's fine because it's neutral. That's fine to be purple. But at least they made sure that these are red, you know. So I know that they're on the Ottawa, because that would be confusing otherwise. And I'm assuming that this is gonna be blue. Yep. Good.
The 2 wins for Ottawa against Toronto. Eichner to center. Katarina Mrazova looking to feed it back from Eichner. She's caught up at center. Toronto holding the blue line as they feed it back in the middle of the ice.
Eichner with a nice little toe drag to get that puck out of the zone initially, but you'd like to see Ottawa get that puck deep when they get to the blue line. You recognize you don't really have anything off the rush. Get it in behind the other team's D.
You think of some of those challenges against the Minnesota end trying to break out. Will look to be a focal point for them here.
All right, they
Shelman in on the far side now for Toronto. Pinned up by Rose. 2 defenders. Natalie Spooner in there for help. Coming out the shootout winner for Toronto. And their 2-1 win against New York. A few goals for her in the shootouts.
That's pretty impressive, isn't it? And you know you can go back to the same shooter when you go to a shootout opportunity that Natalie Spooner could come in that game, put a couple in the net for her team.
Oh,
back to the point.
Phillips fumbled it.
The shot on the half boards. Victoria Box squeezes her out. Former Sefter herself. Vasco outnumbered, has support now. Karolova up for Rebecca Leslie to center. Connects with Bach. Hannah Miller at center for Toronto. Cuts back. Vasco sends it in deep. So Toronto's won 3 of the 5 meetings this season against Ottawa. That's 3 straight. Last one went to overtime. A thrilling finish in Edmonton.
And I thought Ottawa had a really solid game in Edmonton as well. They didn't pick up the 2 points or the 3 points, but I thought they played really well. There's some areas in their season that I thought they built off of because they have been good as of late. The first half of their season, not great.
It's Daryl Watts, the overtime hero. Savalainen holds it for
Come on.
High shot into the glove of Kristen Campbell.
And I like the net front presence, and Savalainen, a player who was so good in the World Championships as well, coming away with a bronze medal for Finland. And, you know, Coach Carla McLeod obviously getting her message through to her players that be where your feet are. We heard Gabby Hughes in her interview say the same thing. They don't want to get focused on what else is going on today. The focus is on
Was
the
the
same thing. They
most games going first? Ottawa with 18. That's pretty good. But also, there's multiple PWHL girls or YouTube girls in chat right now. They're sharing this chat for a little bit. We are splitting the triple game day and having so much fun with y'all.
don't want
You didn't need to know that, but I found it interesting.
Today, the focus is on them and coming away with the win here.
They're trending in the right direction towards the end of the season. Shot just wide. Their loss against Minnesota snapped Ottawa's 3-game winning streak. Four to roll once before, and that was last season. As Savalainen lets it go for the blue line. Blair Turnbull cuts it at the center. And she'll start the charge. Turnbull has support. Izzy Daniel down low. 7 points for her this season as Daniel goes for a change. Zoe Boyd looking for Hughes. 9 points for Gabby Hughes in her last 10 games. A remarkable finish to her season because you think at the start had just 1 assist in her first 10 games. So Hughes, you think of Jenner, Clark really finding their game when it matters
Well,
most.
exactly, and I think there was a really slow start offensively for this Ottawa team in general. So they really needed a Gabby Hughes to get on the board. She's been good. Emily Clark as well, Brianne Jenner. This team tends to succeed when Brianne Jenner scores a goal. Those veterans need to be good.
12-1 record when Brianne Jenner scores for the Ottawa Charge. Darkangelo to Jenner. Ottawa on the attack. Jenner chips it around. She'll go after it. Diane Darkangelo moving up for Jenner. Darkangelo, Venisheva, Jocelyn Larocque. Welcomed additions to this Charge roster. Changes made by Mark Hirschfeld. Mike Hirschfeld in some of those necessary trades during the season, but no bigger than that blockbuster trade that sent Jocelyn Larocque to Ottawa.
Well, they've made some really, really good trades over the last 2 years. Ones that have played out for them, panned out. Venetia, of course, I think the biggest one.
As Larocque pinches in, she'll get a hold of it, disrupts momentum against Malte. Carter feeds it up for Natalie Spooner. She'll feed it to the far side. Ashton Bell first on it. Malte not far behind. Ottawa on the attack, led by Mrazova. Pushed off by Gosling. At center of this game, Becky.
Yeah, a place that she played when she played her college hockey with St. Lawrence, and we haven't seen her there very often this year.
Mrazova trying to feed her Daphne in front. Woods there for help. Back to the blue line. The rock shot.
Oh, close.
Ottawa with some chances here in the offensive zone.
Hold me now.
Point shots, and we've seen them on the forecheck as well. Jocelyn Larocque was F1 on her last shift.
A chance the other way, far side. Connors takes a look. She'll let it go, and Phillips will make the save. Maggie Connors getting it started here for Toronto.
Well, why not throw pucks to the net and see what you can get? Minnesota did that all night long, looking to see if they could recover a rebound. Ottawa with the first real opportunity of the game, and they get that point shot through. And that's a nice, quick shot. Gotta love the shot. Nice little cross and drop here as Maggie Connors throws that one on Gwyneth Phillips. That rebound pops out for a split second, and Woods is there looking for it.
Connors looking
After all that, 1 shot each
face off to the left of Phillips. Vasco will take the draw for Ottawa against Jessie Comfort.
from last night's stream.
She's almost tripled her point total this season in comparison to last year, Jessie Comfort. 18 points right now. She had just a total of 5 last year.
You got to think it's an adjustment period for some of these players in the league, and she's certainly made the adjustment. She's been good this year.
Savalainen looking for Boyd. Deep pass, Flanagan. Her long shot. Phillips sees it through, and it'll be a glove save for Gwyneth Phillips.
Well, this is one of these situations where Ottawa makes the D-to-D pass. It's not on the tape, similar to what was happening against Minnesota. And now you're giving up offensive opportunities. That pass is just off the tape. Now you've got a turnover situation. Toronto goes to work.
There's not much to say. I mean, it's just, you know,
They go to the net hard.
and they're doing their thing. I didn't know I thought you weren't allowed to kick pass.
Toronto has the best home record so far this season, 7-2, 2-3. But meanwhile, Ottawa's tied for best road record, 7-1-6. Regulation. Toronto has the best home record.
Unforced errors.
Toronto has the best home record so far this season, 7-2, 2-3. But meanwhile, Ottawa's tied for best road record, 7-1-6. A lot of regulation wins for both these teams in their home and in away barns.
Best home and both away records going at it. Toronto is a better team.
For Toronto, far side pass.
518 votes. Kind of 50-50, to be honest.
Turnbull on the backhand, no one's home.
Not including, say, for game day.
Trying to send it on that wraparound chance and right back to the
But
corner.
yeah, we're here.
Renata Fast getting in on the action as well. She's not afraid to jump in, but she started this with a beauty cross-ice pass to get out of their zone.
Turnbull deep in the zone for Toronto. Takes a look for Fast. She'll walk the line. On net it will go. Scepter send 3 for a change. Fast Lanes is down.
They've been in this zone for a while, man.
Pinned up by Taylor-Lova. Rose running out of time. Malte picks up the puck. Sheldon along the blue line. Her shot deflected off of Nurse's stick.
Come on, you need to get it out. What are you doing? Oh my god.
It's Sarah Nurse. Her shot here off the bar. Nurse some great numbers against Ottawa. Eager to get out of the
They're still in the zone.
Pressured. Gets time for Connors. Another angle for Connors here in the first period. Gets deflected into the corner.
Flanagan with good step up at the blue.
Again!
And she read that play well.
Jeez.
All alone here. Tries for the shot into the glove.
No, that seemed like a weak shot.
Ottawa getting stuck in their own end here in the first period as the Scepter some countless chances. How about this one off the bar for Sarah Nurse? Looking for her 6th of the season.
Has Eck made another PWHL video? No, it doesn't look like he has. What? Whoa. That was a high pitch. Game 7. The Panthers advance.
Teresa Vanisheva has been very good for this
Ottawa advances.
15 goals. She gets another opportunity just here in this game. She's got
And just like that,
far this season. She's got a pair of buzzer beaters.
and just like that, Fleury's last season. The Wild were good this year, but they failed. Oilers advance. Panthers, Maple Leafs, Capitals, and Hurricanes all advance. So yeah, that's just what's going on in the NHL.
She has come up big time and time again. Definitely a player they're going to look to in today's game. She drives energy. You know, she had the fight as well. The infamous Gordie Howe hat trick, or Vanisheva hat trick as we may call it now. So got lots of on the power play.
No, it's the Gordie Howe hat trick.
Had great chemistry last year when Darryl Watts was with the Ottawa Charge. Jenner rounding out that trio. They were a force to be reckoned with. See Haley Irwin, assistant coach there, speaking with the bench. Former
Hold me now.
alumni here on this Ottawa Charge roster. Like Gabby Hughes, who heads in on this back check for Ottawa. Terralova trying to win this battle. Has support from Hughes. We see Daniel pressing her. Terralova will try another angle, looking for Emily Clark from the near side. Trying to use the glass to chip this out, but Flanagan plays back down. Spooner at the far side, pinned up by Jinsey Rose. Spooner to center, Flanagan pinches down, but Clark steals it back. It was scrambles. Flanagan gets another chance at it.
Callie Flanagan active on this shift with a good pinch. Keeps the puck in at the blue line, jumps in, trying to get some shots off.
And chip it all the way down. Shelby can go D to D. Without a stick, Monte hold of it and joins in on play as Clark sends it back.
They need to get out of their zone. That's what they're struggling to do.
Now up ice for Ottawa. A must-win game for the Charge. Keep their playoff hopes alive. They need
Their defense is solid,
eyes on Minnesota.
but they just can't get it out.
For the Frost.
And because of the amount of time spent in their zone,
Can't get the shot off.
that's why Ottawa loses. It's like, yeah, they have a good goalie and their defense is alright, but they can't. There's too many turnovers in their own zone.
Out of the zone.
Monte on the rush.
You know, the amount of time spent in their zone.
Front is fast, tries to
They
outwork
need to get it out of the zone.
Renata fast, a great move for her.
Oh, what a player, right? She tries to jump to the middle of the ice. Looks like she's going to lose the puck
And
still
keep it
wins the
out.
battle.
Have to think certainly a front runner for D of the year, but
Like
also
now Toronto capitalizes.
candidate as well.
She's got to be in the conversation. Certainly D of the year. I don't think there's any question about it.
Aaron Ambrose of the Montreal Victoire that earned that award last
Hold
year.
me now.
Toronto, final game of the regular season, playoff implications on the line.
Here's to the bold, the determined. More than athletes, they're icons, warriors, opponents of the status quo. Proving that dreams are realized through dedication and come alive on the ice. This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
I miss the Senators' old logo. Now, if the Penguins got in, they would be facing the Capitals, which that would be interesting. Because we kind of kicked Washington's ass in the playoffs.
Well, if you're a fan of Allie Monroe, you probably noticed her jersey looks a little different today as the leadership group for Toronto got a little bigger. She's now wearing the A. Now, we spoke to Troy Ryan before the game. He said she was a little bit surprised because it's kind of an unconventional pick, but he didn't want to buy into what he called superstar branding package, where, of course, your biggest names have to be your leaders. He said she's not overly vocal, but she's a good leader, and what he really likes about her, if she has to tell a superstar to get better, she absolutely will. Kenzie, Becky?
But I'm just saying, they have
Absolutely. I
this
think that's a
environment.
great pick. And, you know, you know the room better than anyone when you're the coach, the player.
Tough conversation. It's time for the
Don't
movement era.
necessarily know what's
Because I
said
don't know if
how
you
they
played it
practice. He said
together.
she's
But
just
you
a
have
pro.
that.
She gives the same work ethic at practice that she would in Game 5 of the Walter Cup.
Allie Monroe, the pride and joy of Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, often holds a camp back home in the summer times.
Got a little Nova Scotia connection.
The A means assistant. You have the C, right?
Ryan, so
And then you have like assistant captains or whatever.
Team Nova Scotia 2015.
Like in football, you have like multiple captains.
And that was one of the first teams he ever coached in the women's league, and it was a short stint. He came in last minute, but found a way to make a lasting impact. CJ was also part of that roster as well. So time flies, and now both those athletes are on his professional roster.
In hockey, you have one captain technically, and then you have
Tries to swat this away. Mrazova in the
assistant captains or whatever.
Rose cuts back. And a homecoming herself with the St. Louis takeover tour game this season. Or trying to stay onside, and she will.
They can't keep out of their zone.
Kristen Hale now 11 saves away from reaching 1,000. She'll be the fourth goaltender to do so. Charge put up 2 shots on net so far in this game.
A low shooting affair when the shots are 3-2 right now. 7 minutes left in the first.
And with so much on the line.
And that's like,
Not surprising when there's a lot on the line. Though.
no, not tickets.
Both teams really playing good defense, keeping it
Imagine if I bought tickets.
Tomorrow on the far side, Ashton Bell gets there first.
What? No.
Cuts to the backhand into the skates of Bell. This time for Amanda McMahon to pick up the puck.
Damn.
that Toronto line with Turnbull and Scamora. You know that they're going to try to play a hard, heavy game, straight ahead speed. And Turnbull's had a couple of good rushes, just driving the puck into the zone.
There's no minutes of attack.
Vasco first on it. Quick touch away by Harmon. She sent along the boards. Nurse there for help. Harmon for Malte. Toronto on the attack.
So we're gonna be here for a while. We're probably gonna be here till like 5.
Back for Malte. A great
We'll see what happens in the Ottawa game. If the Ottawa game, if Ottawa wins, then it's over.
So she got past the defender, and Zoe Boyd.
You know, we don't need to
Her
watch
linemates were able to get that puck on net.
Minnesota.
And that's her game. Use your speed.
I'm probably not gonna watch the Montreal game because who cares really?
I'd love to see her get some power play time.
Yeah, I'd
Puck
put her.
well, she's got good vision.
I think I'd put her net front
Hard to push off the puck, certainly as well.
on a pit bull, right? She's going to recover pucks down low.
Carolina takes a hit from Woods. Gosling looking for an open body. Laura Kluge up to Flanagan. Her shot low as Phillips makes the save. Darkangelo steers it to the corner. Loose puck has help from Victoria Boston on the backhand.
You're starting to see Laura Kluge get some shifts with this fourth line. She's the 13th forward this game.
2 assists this season, Kluge. Activated later on in this season. Key figure of the German national team.
A huge amount of ice time at World Championships for her.
Oh my goodness.
At center. Cuts back, Kluge taking a look, finds some soft ice near side for Flanagan. Comfer cuts to center, has help from Gosling. 5 to go here in the first period. A must-win game for Ottawa. We'll keep their eyes on Minnesota's game later this afternoon as well.
Part of it for Ottawa right now is they got shut out last game, so finding that offensive gear again that has been so much better since that stretch from February, that international break, putting up about 3 goals a game on average, where they were about 1.8 prior to that. So the offense has been good. They got to get it going again.
Can Katarina Mrazova break through?
Oof.
Penalty on the way. Phillips has gone to the bench for Ottawa. To the power play shortly as Meixner lets it go into the netting. It's the Ottawa charge.
Royal Tiger
Power play.
paper towel power play.
Draws the penalty. Charge to the power play when we return.
What was the penalty?
When we return in the zone, draws the penalty. Charge
Holding.
to- Meixner in the zone, draws the penalty.
It was kind of jabbed to the head, so I'm not sure.
My beautiful daughter. This is my beautiful daughter. And this is my beautiful daughter. Yeah, and this is my beautiful daughter. 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 This is my beautiful daughter.
No, that's the same one.
It's also my beautiful daughter.
He has a lot of kids.
Welcome back inside Coca-Cola Coliseum as the Ottawa Charge head to the power play. Check out FanDuel for all the latest odds and betting markets available for the PWHL.
And Toronto's been very good on their penalty kill. They haven't given up a goal in a very long time. One power play goal at home since December 30th, so Ottawa's going to have to figure that one out. And Ottawa's power play has struggled this season, sitting 5th in the league right now at just 15.3%.
That's not good.
Chances last game against Minnesota. Can they find one here? Is he Daniel trying to get on this puck early? Without a fast on the kill.
And Daniel got off the ice right away, so Toronto able to make that line change, which is huge right off the drop of the puck to get the puck down the ice, get those forwards off, and get the players on that you want.
This power play brought to you by Royale Tiger Towel Paper Towel. Power through tough messes. Great drive.
No way.
Escamora with a nice defensive play. It looked like Jenner was going to be in, and Mrazova made that little punch pass to her in the middle of the ice, and there's a player that can turn around this power play. Katerina Mrazova, the movement she has, if they can get set up in the zone, she's dangerous.
And has great deception as well, right? When you think you know what she's about to do, she'll make another decision. Mrazova into the corner. Monroe has some time with it. And she'll fire it down as there's a collision here, and just on the near side, Malte and Hughes involved.
17-17.
They're a little bit tangled up, and
17 on 17 action.
back to Malte.
Hey.
Well, the other game we saw face masks getting stuck to one another in Minnesota.
We've seen that a couple times this year. Not something that happens a whole lot.
Take another look. It's, Hughes and Malte there just at the bottom of your screen.
I think that's one of those situations where you're both looking the opposite direction, and
I think their masks are.
their masks are
Oh.
So that's 2 in 1 week. And
in the opposite
Look.
screen.
Right here.
I
Boom.
think that's one of those situations where you're both looking the opposite direction, and
I think their masks are.
The masks got
So
stuck.
that's 2 in 1 week, and I've seen both of them.
That's kind of funny.
that's an odd feeling. How did
Ottawa.
as a player, and
5th in the league on the power play.
Before too.
Not very
It's
good.
the other person's fault.
you do.
Of course
you do, especially in a big game.
Ottawa will reset on this face-off. Hughes has been their own consistent player in the dot this season. Serdachny will step in.
Serdachny. Hey.
And of course, up against Nurse in the face-off circle, and Nurse has been very good for Toronto as well.
Board battle underway. Ottawa under 50 seconds left on this power play.
Yeah, they're not very good on the power play.
Puck breaks free.
They're not the best team in the league. They're not a consistent team,
Drops it off for Serdachny.
I should say.
Saw the line in just in time. Mikesna down low. On the half boards, Mikesna. And Hughes off the inner skate of fast. Another chance here as Clark looks for it. And Nurse will make the clear.
Hughes looked to make that pass the first time. The second time, it looked like maybe she was forcing it out front, and Toronto's able to get that puck right back down the ice.
Serdachny with some speed. Caught up.
Looks like they're going through the motions of playing hockey.
Jesse Comfort comes in. Her shot just wide. Steered to the corner by Venisheva. Final seconds of this Ottawa power play. Carter out of the box. She'll go. Ottawa not able to land a shot on net on that power play as we're back to 5-on-5.
Well, not a lot of time set up, and Toronto did a pretty effective job at getting pucks back down the ice, engaging in battles along the wall, and then getting pucks down.
Ottawa's really been trending in the right direction as of late since February. Second best team to Toronto's record. Have been averaging about 3 goals a game. looking for one here this afternoon.
Well, one of the big things I think that Ottawa has done down this stretch is they have battled until the end of games. So they've put up some late goals, some real back-breaking late goals. You saw that against Montreal last weekend where they scored with 13 seconds left to get the 3 points. And you know, how big is those 3 points looking right now for this team as they put themselves in a position where they are in that last playoff spot.
And it's so helpful that they have the 12 regulation wins. A huge jump from last year. 4 more regulation wins this season than last year. One of the greatest improvements of any team in the PWHL, and that's going to help them a lot with the tiebreakers.
Well, that's
Last year wins.
last playoffs, they scored with 13 seconds left to get the 3 points. And you know, how big is those 3 points looking right now for this team as they put themselves in a position where they are in that last playoff spot.
And it's so helpful that they have the 12 regulation wins. A huge jump from last year. 4 more regulation wins this season than last year. One of the greatest improvements of any team in the PWHL, and that's going to help them a lot with the tiebreakers.
Well, that's the first tiebreaker. So they've got the tiebreaker over Minnesota and Boston, should they be in a situation where they're tied for points. So that is huge as they look to just have to secure a win here, just even the 2 points. In
I thought Minnesota was
solidify that spot in the playoffs because of
in the lead
Find themselves in the exact same position
of Ottawa, but I guess I was wrong.
It was a must-win game. It was tied 2-2 going into the third.
Let's see here. 1-1. 2-1. 2-2. 3-2. 3-3. 1. 1, 2, 3. Go to the 1, 2, 3. Alright, so 3-3, but Ottawa has more points than them, I guess. Not quite sure, but that's the end of the first. Very low scoring, or very low
Interference is going to be
shots.
Well, that's the work ethic of Emma Malte. I mean, this is just a fantastic shift for her.
Very, very few
You
shots.
see her coming in at you. You know you got to move that puck awfully quickly. As she draws this interference penalty.
Interference.
4 seconds left on the board. So she gets in, she gets on the forecheck, forces Serdachny to put that puck back down in the corner. And now you're in a situation where you're under load, you're under pressure. Malte goes back in again. Serdachny steps in, creates a little bit of interference, and now she's going to go to the penalty box. So this is exactly what she does well.
Final seconds in this period.
Alright.
Toronto
Yep,
goes
we
to
move.
but it won't be enough.
Well, for both these teams, trying to figure out a way to get a little bit of offense, so you end that.
Chat,
period,
I'm
your
gonna go
shots are
eat.
tied 4-4, so that's not gonna get it done typically if you
I'm gonna go eat.
goals
Yeah?
on the board.
That,
So both
that
teams
cool?
Maybe a little tentative, a little defensive. Got to find their offensive stride. Huge opportunity though here for Toronto going on the power play to start the second.
A lot on the line here in Toronto. We'll send things over to Rob Pizzo. He'll have you covered in our first intermission. We'll check in with Ottawa's captain, Brianne Jenner. A must-win game for the Charge. It's Scepters and against Ottawa to close out the regular season in downtown Toronto.
Why is it I have Family Guy at TV? Last game of the year, dude. But I am live on YouTube. Why is it I have Family Guy I'll be back. Yeah, I'll be back. I guess I'll just let this go.
Welcome back to Coca-Cola Coliseum as the Charge and Scepters are scoreless through the first 20 minutes of play here with Brianne Jenner. Brianne, we all know the stakes. You were here last year, same sort of thing, win and you're in. Your impressions of the first period so far?
Yeah, I thought we showed that we were ready to skate today and ready to battle. I think we just got to clean up some of our puck management and get more pucks on net.
Seemed like a little bit of a timid first period, just 8 total shots on net between the two teams. Can we expect it to open up in the second period?
Yeah, perhaps. I think Toronto defended really well. I think we kept them to the outside as well. So I expect it to be a pretty tight game for 60 minutes.
Thanks so much. Good luck in the second.
Thank you.
Every time I come to a new PWHL game, I see more and more signs, and they get more and more creative and artistic. Just incredible. I find myself looking around all game. Canadian Tire, my team, my sign, presented by Canadian Tire, proud founding partner of the PWHL. Charge and Scepters, scoreless after one. More coming up after the break, so don't go anywhere. The Charge are a win away from punching their ticket to the playoffs, while the Scepters are looking to put some pressure on the Victoire for first place in the standings, but they are scoreless at first intermission. And I've mentioned this entire season. I'm going to say it again. If you're a fan of the PWHL, this is required listening. The Jocks and Jills podcast with Tessa and Julia. New episodes come out every Tuesday and Friday. You can listen to them wherever you get your podcast. And one of the most recent guests is on the ice today, Scepters forward, Hannah Miller.
That day in Edmonton when everybody came dressed up as you, were you like almost unsurprised by it? You're like, yeah, everyone should kind of be dressed like me.
No, I was so shocked. Did you not see the video? I didn't know how to react. I was like, this is so kind of like embarrassing, but like, I love it at the same time. Oh my God, it was like, yeah, it was awesome. They did such a good job. They had like our assistant coach was like in on it. He told me to come down early to watch video. That was like a fake video session. I'm sitting there like,
I didn't know that.
He's saying the same thing over to me. Like, I'm like, is this guy like, he's going to tell me anything like, you know, useful here? Or he's just going to, cause he didn't have anything prepared. Like it was just like a setup for me to be in their room. But no, they had my actual clothes from my closet, like that. Yeah, my girlfriend was like handing out my actual clothes, like, and people were like requesting stuff that I wear, and she'd be like, "No, you can't have that because she'll notice if that one's gone up from the closet." And yeah, no, it was so funny, but like such a cool memory for me, even though it's like, you know, they're poking fun, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh, that is special.
I think that just speaks volumes to like what your locker room is like with the Scepters, and like, you know, how tight knit of a group you are, and how you guys, you know, even when things weren't going great, Troy was just like, we're not worried. We're doing all the right things right. And it felt like the locker room was still in a good place. Does that hold true?
I think for sure. It's like, you know, the leadership and the older girls who have been there and, you know, been through so much in their career and like high pressure situations. But yeah, it's just a really great group of people, all different characters. And it's definitely what is so special about playing in Toronto for sure, is that group. And just the staff in general too. Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, as we mentioned off the top of the show, a huge final day in the sophomore season of the PWHL. Every game has an effect on the standings and the playoffs, and we're just minutes away from that Minnesota-Boston game in Beantown. To get us set up for that game, let's send it to David Korzenowski and Gigi Marvin.
The Tsongas Center in Lowell, Massachusetts is the place to be on this final day of the regular season in the PWHL. Minnesota and Boston getting the puck drop going at 1 p.m. Eastern. With Gigi Marvin, I'm David Korzenowski. We are so excited for this game today. Gigi, the regular season comes down to this, and both teams control their own destiny here today at the Tsongas Center.
It's exciting. It's what all athletes want, the ability to control your own destiny, win and you're in, regulation win and you're in.
3 teams are fighting for the final 2 spots in the playoffs. Let's go over both teams' playoff scenarios. Boston clinches a playoff spot with 1, 2, or 3 points. They can still get in with a regulation loss if Ottawa loses. So Boston has the most margin for error today.
They do, and one big thing for Boston, huge news if you're a fan of the Fleet, Aaron Frankel will be back in net. Clutch playoff performer, someone you want in between the pipes, trying to get your team into the playoffs.
Minnesota got a huge win over Ottawa in their last game, 3-0 victory. They have less margin for error. They clinch a playoff spot with a regulation win. They can still get in with 2 points if Ottawa loses in regulation. So Minnesota really needs a win today.
They do. Coming out hard, putting the puck in the net, finding and generating offensive chances will be important for the Frost.
These 2 teams have squared off 5 times so far this season. Minnesota has gotten the better of Boston. 2 regulation wins, 2 overtime wins against the Fleet. Boston has just 1 win in the season series. It'll be interesting to see how they square off after not having played since mid-February.
It is interesting the length of time in between, but Boston loves competing at the Tsongas Center. They have had such high-quality games, great record playing in front of their home fans, and so it'll be interesting to see what team comes out on top.
Hillary Knight leads the season series in points with 7, 4 goals and 3 assists. Huge game coming up here from the Tsongas Center. Boston and Minnesota fighting for a spot in the playoffs.
huge news with Fleet there as Franco back in net for Boston. Here in Toronto, Charge and Scepters scoreless through one. Second period action coming up after the break.
Here's to the bold, the determined, the ones who lace up their skates and put on the mask. More than athletes, they're icons, warriors, opponents of the status quo. They skate with grit and grace, shoot with purpose, and compete with heart. They embrace the ice, where every earned drop of sweat tells a story, a badge of honor from every challenge conquered. Proving that dreams are realized through dedication and come alive on the ice. This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
Towards the front of the goal, now in behind. Quick passing in front, they score! Nene McMahon opens the scoring tonight. Here's a chance for a short-handed break. In alone, scores! It's a jailbreak from Gabby Hughes. Here come the Charge again. Tipped on goal again. Hensley down. Where's the puck? It's in! The puck crossed the line. Venishva takes the shot. Scores! 4-2. Centering pass comes back up top. Shot towards the goal. Rebound. Scores! Venishva again. Vasco. Nice little touch to Bach. Bach is in. Pull. Scores! D'Arcangelo. Jenner wants that one-timer. Scores! What a blast! 7 goals. That's a new PWHL record. Leslie is in. Chance scores. Make it 8. And Venishva's got her first PWHL hat trick. What a night for Ottawa. A team is strong on the scoreboard. You can forget about that tonight. It's an 8-3 Charge win.
Ottawa Charge would love to find some of that goal scoring in this must-win game, but right now we're scoreless after the first 20 minutes as we welcome you back inside Coca-Cola Coliseum. Kenzie Sloan with you alongside Becky Keller. It's not a whole lot of action in that first period. 4 shots on net here for Toronto. It took them 13 minutes, 36 seconds between their first shot on net and second, but there's a lot of great defensive puck movement here, and someone that really stood out, Callie Flanagan with the Toronto Scepters.
Yeah, I thought she was really good, and Troy Ryan has talked to us a number of times about how he thinks that pair, along with Monroe, have been solid for this team all season. She made some great reads along the offensive blue line, put up 2 of their 4 shots as well. She skates very well, so you can see her reads on her gaps, jumping in, pinching. You'll see her through the neutral zone as well, making some good plays. I thought she had a solid period. This is a team that's going to go into the playoffs. That's a certainty. They're going to need some of these depth players as you key in on your Renata Fass and some of your defenders that are going to eat up a ton of ice time. Callie Flanagan is a player that's going to eat up some ice time as well. big key to this team's success moving down the road.
Flanagan knows what it takes to win. She was part of USA that won gold in Pyeongchang in 2018. But right now, scoreless here. After one, the Scepters will begin this second period on the power play, but gotta find some more shots on that, especially if you're Ottawa in this game.
Both of these teams, and absolutely, Ottawa wants the 3 points, but they certainly need a win, so you've got to find a way to produce some offense. You need more shots.
Teresa Venisheva, meanwhile, for Ottawa, put up 5 hits in that first period. She continues to lead the charge with 15 goals this season. Remarkable. We'll see if she could find one here against Toronto. Let's hear from Scepters head coach Troy Ryan, who's with Rob Pizzo.
First period, given the stakes from both teams, are you a little surprised how it all went down?
Yeah, it's pretty tight checking right now, but I think we just got to do a little bit better job with our zone play and getting some pucks at net with traffic. But, like anytime you can limit the opposition to 4 shots.
Is there anything in that second period coming up that we could expect big changes from the first?
Well, hopefully we get going here on the power play and then build some offense out of that. But, I expect things moving forward to be pretty tight checking in the
period coming up that we could expect big changes from the first?
Well, hopefully we get going here on the power play and then build some offense out of that. But, I expect things moving forward to be pretty tight checking.
He has the most Canadian voice I have ever heard. But yep. And in a minute, Minnesota and Boston are going to be.
Ottawa gets that line change in as well, and that's tough on the second period with this no escape rule. We're going to get those players out.
There we go.
For Toronto, looking to start this power play. She'll cut back to the blue line. Fast takes a look here. She'll delay a high shot. Up, down low. This power play brought to you by Royal Tiger Towel Paper Towel. Power through tough messes. Gosling stepping in. You have to think she'll be net front here for the Scepters. Comfort. Pinned up by LaRock. Leslie trying to get a hold of this loose puck.
Royal Tiger Towel. Royal Tiger Towel. Paper Towel Power Play.
In their D zone. So you got Fast coming into the second period, having already played 10 minutes, 19 seconds. On the other end for Ottawa, LaRock, 7 minutes, 31, leading defenders.
Royal Tiger Towel Power Play.
Partners. That's been a conversation for LaRock coming in with the charge. Her minutes being more managed under head coach Carter McLeod. As Carter tries the shot, Phillips gets her toe out just in time. Spooner on the loose puck, looking for Malte near side. Under 30 seconds to go on the Scepters power play. Carter from the blue line, tipped up by Boyd.
I've been acknowledged. Acknowledge me.
Nurse on the loose puck. Hughes gloves it down and gets the clear.
Well, you can see what they're looking for in this.
Where am I at?
Natalie Spooner just parks herself net front. She's a force in front of the net. She's got a stick on that last shot as well. She just tipped it up and over the net.
Out comes through Daphne. We're back to 5-on-5. Toronto landing 1 shot on that power play. Venisheva chasing Malte. She gets pushed off by Dark Angelo. So Teresa Venisheva looks up ice. Trying to bang pass to Jenner. As Brianne Jenner cut to the center of the ice.
Well, you could see what the thought process was there. Venisheva was looking to hit Jenner off the wall. Jenner just turned the other way. A couple of nice point shots for the Scepters. And again, if you take a look at Natalie Spooner out front and her ability to just move, get in the way, get sticks on puck. She's not successful in getting one into the net, but she does get her stick on the puck out front. She's a big
Come on, Ottawa. Do something.
In the league, especially when it comes to your power.
They gotta do their thing, but.
I'm David Korzenowski. Natalie Norrie will join us ringside in just a little bit. Gigi, not much more to say. Triple header of PWHL action today, and every game is important.
It all comes down to this. Drop the puck. Everyone wants to see how the teams and the game is going to shake.
I don't think I've heard this guy's voice before.
I'm David Korzenowski. Natalie Norrie will
David
join us ringside in
Korzenowski.
just a little bit. Gigi, not much more to say. Triple header of PWHL.
I've heard her voice before for sure, but
They want to enter the playoffs.
yeah. New announce team. It's always been this team.
She's trying to battle and win that race. She doesn't get the call. Shelben beats her down the ice, so this one will come back down. But I like that thought process as well. If you can spring someone on that quick break.
Am I red? If I do that, I turn red.
The captain, her shot just tied.
Oh, that's fine.
High and far for Ottawa. Great look for them off the rush. Team whose strength really does come off the rush all season long. Fast the other way. Deep in the zone, pinned up by our former deep partner and Jocelyn Larocque. Two with a few extra shoves here in the corner.
You gotta love that. A lot of familiarity between those two players.
Both eager for a win here this afternoon. Jenner will fire it in. Campbell comes out to settle the puck. Fast. In for Connors. She'll look to pin this puck up against the board. As Gosling comes away with it.
All right, here we go.
Through center. Gosling cuts to the outside. Shot off the stick of Bell and into the netting.
Well, it's a nice little inside-out move from Gosling to try to open up a lane for herself, but the best chance so far of the period is Brianne Jenner. Savannah Harmon steps up to try to take that puck away. Jenner gets in behind her. She's got fast bearing in.
One thing I do like is the PWHL has their own like inside joke. The chat room at least has their own inside joke. No, it's because one time PWHL girl once mistyped shots on goal, which is SOGS as H. Which, I mean, aren't even close on the keyboard. Don't know how that happens, but I guess you're typing a lot. So
far in this period, I think it's Jessie Comfort that gets her stick.
It's nice that they have their own inside joke.
On the first shot, a little bit of a blast, and then she just circles the zone, waits, and then comes in at the right timing to pick another puck up right in front of the net. As Ottawa gets some of their best chances of the period. McMahon with two good opportunities, and Gabby Hughes some really nice hands down low, but she can't quite corral that one.
Man had some family in attendance for their final home game of the season earlier in the week. Serdachny tried for the shot.
And Carter with a nice block there.
Turnbull will cut out wide. Taking it in deep for Toronto. Spins back. Looks for support. Has Carter. D-to-D pass or not. A fast loads. A low shot. Off the shin pads. Gives time for Serdachny to go back the other way.
Turnbull just drives everyone in deep and opens up that point.
So in 21 games, Serdachny has found the back of the net. Can she find a way to strike here in this game? Ottawa's first round pick in last year's draft.
Well, certainly not uncommon for players to come into this league new and not be able to put up near the number of points that they put up, certainly in the NCAA.
No, I know why they didn't do it. But I think they should have rearranged these two games, right? Have Minnesota go first and then Ottawa. Because Ottawa kind of decides it for both teams here. But yeah, we are flip-flopping.
Transitions well to the PWHL style of game.
Yeah, it definitely is going to help, especially for the wingers, I think. It's that play along the wall. So, as a winger, you've got defenders coming in, and they're not just stepping up and poke-checking pucks off.
Really what sticks out to me is she's a player who can battle net front and take the beatings, and just withstand all the pressure from the opponent. And she's just a great person and a player to keep an eye on.
Our players to watch are presented by Woody Creek Distillers, proud founding partner of the PWHL. Knight has 7.
This announcement is much louder.
Certainly not a good period for them. It's been a better one so far here, just in this first 5 minutes.
Oh well.
Scoring chances that I don't think they had all game in that game against Minnesota, and you know you want to play your best. If you get beat out playing your best, it's something that you'll take.
I love that messaging from head coach Carmen LeCloud. You've earned the opportunity to have this pressure. Vinishva, who does great under pressure, tries to cut wide. And by Sheldon, sweet captain. Keeping her eyes on Jenner.
Captain, no captain.
Through the legs, it gets the puck loose on the play. Brianne Jenner, a look for Ottawa. In front, shot just wide. Ottawa with some chances.
Couldn't talk to you without mentioning Deuce. You've been fostering Deuce the past little bit, few days. What drew you to want to foster him and help him find his forever home?
Yeah, we just kind of volunteered a couple of weeks ago at the Lowell Humane Society, and I just kind of felt
coming in. Back to the drawing board for Ottawa. Finding a few more chances.
Go, Mom.
In the second period, back for the first period.
I missed.
Time between their first shot on net and second, 13 minutes and 36 seconds. So looking to find some more consistent scoring chances in the second. Meixner trying for a centering pass. Toronto clogging up center ice. Chip and chase. Connors gets it up by Boyd. He tries to fire it back down. Anya Savalainen chasing back. Razupa gets there first. Now Emma Woods for Toronto. Looks for the blue line pass as Monroe fires it back down.
Definitely starting to see a little bit more of the speed game, Ottawa's speed game as well. A lot of that comes down to puck movement. You chip one out just like this, you come onto it with some speed.
Finding the open ice, Savalainen shot redirected out of play. 13-14 remain. Ottawa a few more chances in the second period. A must-win game if they want to punch their ticket to the postseason.
We're tougher together, like a rising tide. A collective spirit of grit and guile. An ocean of emerald green resolve. We're unrelenting, undeniable, unstoppable. Honoring the builders and heroes who came before us. Now we bring our fight to the ice. To overwhelm and overpower, we unleash our might, as always, as one.
I know that like if a puck is like wide, it's not a shot on goal. But I didn't know like if the like I was like, what if the goaltender, you know, was like out here and put their arm out, but the puck would have gone wide anyway. The nice thing about this is we're on ad break, so we could just go on over to Boston. I have not seen many Boston games, I don't think.
Wrapping it around, it's thrown in front. Frankel stays on top of it. Channel Watkins.
A rematch of last year.
Minnesota able to keep it in the ozone. Point shoots and a save by Frankel. Couple extra chances for Minnesota. Fresh off the bench, glove save on Petrie. The Minnesota lineup looks like this. Brooke McQuigg, Kelly Panic, and Grace Zumwinkle will be on the second line for the Minnesota Frost.
And Zumwinkle is a great last name, by the way.
Start in goal after her shutout win against Ottawa last time out. It was a huge win for the Frost to keep their playoff hopes alive. Got a full 3 points on the road at TD Place against the Ottawa Charge. Just like last year, it all comes down to the final game and the final day of the regular season. Shot, they scored! Curl!
Minnesota scores!
Minnesota on the board!
Oh no! Oh no! Ottawa needs a goal here.
Forecheck pressure by the Minnesota Frost as they're in the corner working and battling. They're able to, there's a nice pinch, keep the puck in the zone, and as Prita Curl-Salemi comes around the top, gets it, watch her release. She turns on an inside edge and just such a
Wow.
able to
That early in the game too. Minnesota scores. Wow. Ottawa needs a... Was this a goal? No, it was a save. There's still time in the Ottawa game. I forget the exact scenario that needs to happen. This is kind of the important one right now.
This year, much different story this time around. When you look down the bench, jerseys as well. Look at that flashback footage. Took us back to those inaugural jerseys.
I like them, but I like the new ones better.
Yeah, we'll see what's in store for Vancouver and Seattle. The rock down low for Ottawa. Ishva tries to feed that pass to
Okay, they just need a point. They just need a point. Ottawa loses in overtime. Oh wait, no. Okay. Ottawa holds the tiebreaker above both Boston and Minnesota by more regulation wins. Frost score again? The Frost score again? Oh no. Frost haters are gonna hate this.
Early in the first here to put the Frost up by a pair. Lee Steckline described by her head coach Ken Klee as a big-time player, someone who's always going to show up in the big moments and in the big games. She has Minnesota's second goal as Boston is now chasing it on their home ice.
Wow.
Lee Steckline is such a calming presence. I had the fortunate blessing of being able to play with her as a teammate, and she just calms it. And so you think about a high energy game like today, you want someone who can just bring the energy level down and help the team stay composed.
What's the needed scenario for both Minnesota and Ottawa? Both with a regulation win? Right? Now it doesn't matter how many Ottawa score as long as they win.
Been excellent. She's starting to put pucks into the net as well. We saw her a couple end-to-end rushes in that game against Ottawa just the other night.
We think of the big reasoning why bringing her back to that national team, bringing a stay-at-home defender, leader in the room. We've heard coaches say for years you can pair up anyone with her. If there's an athlete looking to find their game again, put them with Steckline, and they'll get back to their winning ways. And look at her now, starting to find that offensive touch.
I'll tell you what, she's hard to play against, and if you're a defender, that might be the biggest compliment you can get. Hard to play against.
We're in it now. We're in the thick of it. Everybody knows. Don't know nothing about no ice. I just keyed in and they froze. I'm in the thick of it. Everybody knows. Da, 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 da.
That are creating some of those turnovers, and you got a few players on this team that are real character players too. We saw it with Vasco on the last shift. Of course, you got Bach, who was traded here.
My Sharona.
Outstanding on the forecheck as well.
Sharona.
Character players that are starting to really create
Get it up.
turnovers, and that's where you're going to get your offense from.
My.
European Women's League. When she was playing for St. Polton, she was working nights at the casino to try and earn some extra money.
Sharona. Sharona.
Big picture, bright future.
My. That's for my. My.
Kind of players, especially again your depth players, if they can be a leader both on and off the ice. She's got lots of experience.
Spoke to her about that Austrian team before this season even started, and I said, "You guys are getting there. You're getting closer."
There's Minnesota fans here. More goals. Let's go Frost. Yeah, I'm gonna go Frost. They're coming out today. They're coming out today. Wednesday they did not come out, but today they're here. They're here today. Now they have 3,000, 2,000.
Different game than I think we're seeing Boston and Minnesota right now. Still tight checking, still low shot count up on the board. Pretty relaxed.
Yeah, they're talking about it.
Leslie in over the line. The Ottawa native sends it on net. Just
Hey man.
pick it up in the corner. To the blue line, Taylor steps down. Rose tries for the shot. Tipped in front by Meister.
My Sharona. Get it up.
Takes a look here for Ashton Bell. Don't go for a skate for Ottawa. Trying to start this cycle. Clark now in the zone. Crush legs. That gives some time. McMahon on net.
Oh, come on.
Hughes to the blue line. Low rock. Long shot here. Looking for a play in front. Clark alone. She'll pick it up below the goal line. Now up to the blue line. Rock fakes the shot. She'll keep walking. Another angle, and it's tipped. Clark's looking for it. A bouncing puck through center ice, and Toronto will make the will fire it in.
Some really good pressure. Ottawa just buzzing right now. You can see the net front presence.
Oh, I thought it was 3. I thought they scored again.
Izzy Daniel trying to protect this puck. Finds Flanagan along the blue line.
I haven't. Nah, I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it. I was gonna say 3, 3-0 Ottawa, or 3-0 Frost. But you know, fuck it.
Flanagan's gonna go for a skate, having one of her best games. Looks for Turnbull at the far side. She'll feed it around. Skmura rolls off, engages in the battle.
Let them react, and then I'll throw this in.
Fresh legs.
Come on, okay? Come on, react.
Natalie Spooner tries to wrap it around. Nurse looking to corral this puck. She'll jump down to Nurse to the backhand. Now forehand.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
A nice deceptive play as it looked like maybe she was going to step in and take the shot, and she walks in. As the puck walks in, and then looks like maybe she's going to shoot this puck, makes the feed down low. Nurse recognizes that she's got that lane as she pivots backwards to forwards, but I like this as you draw those defenders to you.
What a crazy goal too! That's an actually crazy goal. Absolute chaos. Here we go. There's still time for Ottawa.
Well, and that's a huge goal, right? And for Ottawa now, it becomes about managing expectations and emotions. You don't want to get too nervous. You're still good. You've still been playing well. They've had a flurry of
8-0 on shots. Oh, it's not looking good for Ottawa. It's not looking good for Ottawa. Ottawa has the most chances to win to get in. We have 4. They're losing. Minnesota is winning. I think Minnesota is gonna, you know.
Has tilted the ice. We've been looking left for most of the start of this game.
Wow. I could say 2. I could say 2-0 Toronto in here, but I'm not gonna do that.
Clinches a spot in the playoffs with a regulation win today. They can get in with an overtime win, but would need some help in that Ottawa-Toronto game. With a loss of any kind, Minnesota is eliminated from the playoffs. Is eliminated Ottawa-Toronto game. With a loss of any kind, Minnesota is eliminated from the playoffs. Shishaba tries to keep it on her forehand. Keller does a nice job defending. Keller moves it along the boards. The center ice, Batherson, opposite side.
Woo!
Big hit along the boards. Taking a
Woo! Big hit.
Icing.
Oi. Ottawa. I'm cold, man.
Battling hard against Gosling. Both fall now. Darkangelo looking for a pass to center.
Venetia has been flying this shift.
Finding a way, Ottawa will look to dig deep as Carter tries to pin Darkangelo. Zoe Boyd, far pass to Savalainen. She scored big goals in her career. A chance for Jenner. She scored!
Oh!
A tie game!
Ottawa's back in it. Ottawa's back in it. Ottawa's back in it. Let's go. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, baby. Ottawa's back in it. Oh. You all 19 represent. 19's my number. High game in Ottawa. 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 Huge goal for Ottawa. Now, don't quote me. But I think last year, Ottawa was in it. But something happened. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, huge goal for Ottawa. Still same score here.
Just the one loss when Jenner scores for the Charge in her career. And she is finding her game at the right time. Rose comes in.
How the fuck do you spell Ottawa?
Both of Ottawa's wins against Toronto this season. Rose has found the score sheet. Sheldon without her stick tries to pass this off for comfort. Rose will chip it in. Trying to keep this puck in Toronto's end. I think it took 10 games for Brianne Jenner to score her first goal of the season. Now she's got 5 goals, 3 assists in her last 11 games.
What's up, Dean?
Ottawa's rating record has been great.
Huge goal from Ottawa.
It was a slow start for her, for sure. But, you know, you look back at this goal, and is there something that stood out? Earlier in the shift, Teresa Venetia got in, and she was like a bull in a china shop, creating separation, getting in on the forecheck. Sometimes these things piggyback off of those situations. She does some good work early in the shift. They get the zone time and the pressure and the presence, and Brianne Jenner, which is a beauty goal.
Venetia with the assist as well, of course, her 7th of the season, and Darkangelo to round out her scoring sheet, her 9th assist of the season. What a season.
Dude, I did like 15. I did like 30 squats like 2 days ago. My legs are sore. I really hope that we don't land in a two-way intermission. That would kind of defeat the whole purpose, the whole point.
Dawson Larocque for Ottawa. Takes a look, feeds it to center. Another chance, she'll go near side for Mrazova. Ottawa goes for the change. Mrazova recognizes, and quick pass up for Larocque, who starts the drive.
No, Boston scores. Psych!
Nobody driving the net. She threw the puck out with her backhand.
No, I'm playing.
Said she had somebody going to the net front hard.
Good look for Dawson Larocque. Full drop low as Bach sends it the other way. Serdachny first on it for Ottawa. Danielle Serdachny pass out in front. Boyd steps into it, and it's a save by Campbell. Boyd has had some looks here in this game as well for her first. Serdachny to Boyd. Can she shoot it here? It gets blocked, and Scavero will make the clear.
Well, Natalie Spooner coming down hard on that forecheck.
Spoon!
Has helped Serdachny. A chance here for Ottawa. Victoria Bach.
Oh.
A disconnect as they approach Campbell. Another look. Serdachny tries to feed it out in front. Hirolova keeps this play going. Deep in the zone.
Now, Ottawa has definitely been in the zone. In Toronto's zone. the entire period. Oh.
Malte with a great job on that back door to take Venetia stick.
Last period, that wasn't the case. They were stuck in their zone, but now Toronto's stuck in their zone, and that's huge for Ottawa. Oof. Minnesota check. Okay, I thought they scored again. Scoring title race. There you go. Oh. Deflected.
Hughes now pushed off the puck. McMahon there for help. Ottawa sends two. How about three? Clark trying to see if she can dig this home. Puck pops loose. Fast is right there. 16 assists now for an out of fast first player to ever reach that assist total.
A few of these shots, I'd love to see them coming in low. And put a few of them up high. Those point shots, you can get those down low. Maybe you get a stick on something.
And now Kristen Campbell, over 1,000 saves made in her PWHL career. Mrazova looking to
Ottawa's getting chances here, but just can't get anything going. And I do realize that I put on a Canadian accent when I'm talking hockey.
tries to play it ahead, but Kristen Campbell will make the save. Surpasses 1,000 saves here at home. We're all tied up at 1 in Toronto.
Stop. Look. Listen. You'll always hear us coming, chasing the chaos of the game and the sweet sound of the goal siren.
This is Morin. Morin throwing it wide. And Curl is first to it. Intercepted by Toppany. Toppany gains the zone. She's got Babstock with her. Toppany shoots. Babstock in front. And it dribbles just wide. Boston has just one shot through the first 13 minutes of this game.
Minnesota doing a good job with their sticks and blocking, keeping them out of the center of the ice. But watch this Toppany. Great work by her coming laterally across.
6 minutes left.
More space as
It's
she shoots
3.
and Babstock driving the net hard. She
Beep,
lifts
beep,
up second stick,
beep.
which allows the shot to be able to go through, and Toppany
I
to
feel
have
like
more
this-
space to release it.
These guys are so much louder.
Has played very well against Minnesota this year. 4 goals and an assist as this one hopped up nearly on top of goal. But it goes out to the far side corner. Toppany with 2 multi-point games against the Frost this year. That's her former team she started her career with. Knight. Nice job to get it to Keller. Keller turns it over. Panic 3-on-2. Panic shoots.
Oof.
And the blocker saved by Frankel. Zumwinkle tracks it down. Thrown in again. Thompson had it blocked. Puck lifted up as Knight is down there against Claire Thompson. Thompson spent last year in medical school at NYU. Did not play professional hockey. Was draft eligible last year and was picked 3rd overall. Shirley gets through. They're onside. Dropping it behind for Maloney. Now it's
As they press.
Get to the point. Girolamo.
To defend the cup this season. Flanagan. Moving in ahead. LaRock can't get by Kluge. She'll chase after it. Leslie up with Connors. Pass out in front. Mrazova is right there, so she'll pick it up. Katarina Mrazova cuts to center. Eichner challenges Sheldon on the far side. Taken down. Mrazova back to her feet.
Well, Toronto's looking for a little something. They get their 4th line on the ice, and they get a little bit of that. The first time they've had the puck out of their zone in some time.
Comfer picks up the loose puck. Jesse Comfer on the outside. Drops it back. Miller tries to swat it to center. Now Schimbel gets the red line. Sends it in. Carter goes at edge.
So Boston literally just needs a point.
Abby Hughes looking for a blue line pass. She'll find it. Satalainen sends it right back down. Hits the official. Gives some time. McMahon challenges. Savalainen jumps down. Great pinch from Ronja Savalainen. Now she's got some time. Pass passes it off. McMahon pushed off by Harmon. About a minute to go in the second period. Ottawa with a great push here. Shots on net, a big department for them in elevating their game here in the second period. Salalainen heads back for the puck. Watts in pursuit on the outside, cuts back. She'll want another angle.
Oh.
In her 8th straight start here, Gwyneth Phillips, and Matchmeyer's been sidelined.
Savaline turned that puck over, and just about the last person on Toronto you'd want to turn it over to. Daryl Watts is just so creative from a bad angle. She puts a good shot on net.
Looking for her 13th goal of the season. Vanisheva would also love to add to her goal total. Rose's shot from the blue line. Puck's loose in front. Teralova will step into it. High and wide. Ottawa, a lot of more shots in this period. A lot also high and missing. Turnbull, final seconds for Toronto.
Oh no.
Off the inner skates of Rose as time winds down. Both teams finding the score sheet in the second period. It was Nurse and then Jenner, 53 seconds apart.
Well, there's some fight in this Charge team, isn't there? And they had a great response. They give up a goal.
Who's the first seed? Who do you pick and why?
I love the play of Teresa Venetia.
Well, we don't know yet. P.
Like she was shot.
All right, now we're here. Commercial break, by the way. I need to be center frame. There we go.
and Toronto currently in action at Coca-Cola Coliseum. Sarah Nurse with about 8 minutes left.
No, that was a good goal. That was a beautiful goal, by the way.
Ottawa would not go quietly. Under a minute later, Brienne Jenner on the doorstep, able to tie things up at one. Is knotted up at the second intermission. Minnesota is on the power play, up by 2. This power play brought to you by Royal Tiger Towel Paper Towels. Power through tough messes. Coin scores!
3! 3! 3! 3! Told you it was.
At the beginning of the broadcast, we talked about Kendall Coyne Schofield and her speed, how it separates her. Watch how Kelly Panic gets the puck back, and now Kendall Coyne turns on the jet.
I hate.
The puck, it deflects in off the Fleet defender as DiGirolamo goes down to try to take away a pass. Instead, it redirects into the net, putting the Frost up 3-0.
God damn it. That's crazy. That's crazy. Come on, Boston.
On the Patty Kazmaier in the 2015-16 season has been a leader on the international stage as well.
Hey man. Oh yeah. I told him it was 3. I told him it was 3-0. Minnesota. Yeah, one shot is 10-1. That's actually crazy. That's insane. I was playing Block Blast. So if you're Boston right now, you're just hoping Ottawa loses. At this point.
In the league in power play percentage, adds another on the advantage. Gigi, you mentioned effort and energy as a couple things Boston can control to try to get back in this.
Shit.
An even bigger deficit now. What are some small things they can do to just try
Hey man.
to get their footing back in this game?
Come on.
Right. It's just simple puck management.
Uh-oh.
This is Rattray. Rattray gets around channel. Watkins and an
Boston controls their own destiny.
will go to the power play as Rattray draws the penalty.
And another thing you mentioned, they've only had one shot on net. A big reason is because Boston is not bringing the puck to the net. However, this is a great example of Jamie Lee Rattray trying to drive to the net, and as she does, she draws the penalty by
What are the
Watkins, who gets her stick up in there.
Minnesota and Boston?
That Boston is going to need to do if they want to get back into this game and tie
Hey man, it's just, everybody here controls their own destiny. Everybody controls their own destiny. Whoever wins, wins.
Royal Tiger Towel power play and first of the day for Boston. Boston scores 16.3% of the time on power plays, 14 goals on the advantage this year. Minnesota's penalty kill has struggled. They're also last in the league in PK percentage. Toppany looks towards goal and the glove save from Hensley. Gigi, this has to be a huge opportunity for Boston to start to right the ship.
It does, and so I like their movement, how they spread each other out. They're trying to draw the penalty killers out away from Hensley. However, they need to also remember, keep some players net front to take away Hensley's eyes.
Bilka has been really good on the power play in the games that she's played. Out there right now with the first line of Boston's power play. Morin tries to keep it in by the blue line, but can't. Has to circle back to the red line and throw it over to Toppany. Toppany has it bounce into the near corner. Quickly picked up by the Frost.
Trouble, trouble, trouble.
Frankel paddles it along to Morin. Off of the skate of Maloney. Now Knight turns up ice under the stick of Bilka. And just the connection's not there right now for Boston on the offensive end or through the neutral zone. A lot of passes have just missed their intended target, slipped under or over sticks. Gable, shot wide. Maloney takes a hit in the corner, and Keller has it now at the blue line. Keller able to keep it in. Bouncing puck that's settled down by Gable. Back to Keller. Keller turns towards goal, and it goes wide. Knight
Oh.
through the crease. Shirley was
Oh no.
stays out. Gable now with 28 seconds left on the advantage and less than a minute left in this first period. Boston desperate for a goal. Keller to her right and behind Gable. Gable on the boards. 12 seconds left on the power play and mishandled at the blue line. Final 10 seconds. And Minnesota is able to kill their first penalty. Channel Watkins is out of the box. We're back to even strength with 18.4 left.
Boston able to move the puck around, and notice this net front. Hillary Knight and Sophie Shirley right in front of Nicole Hensley. She'll get the puck on her stick with the ability to put it in, and it goes wide. As Sophie Jakes is also there defending her, trying to get it, but look at that toe save by Nicole Hensley.
Nearly snuck in on the near post from Knight, and then nearly inside the back post from Shirley. Shirley could not have been positioned any better.
Only 3 shots on goal. Which is fine because that's what happened in the Ottawa game, but
2 goals in the first 3 minutes and 8 seconds, and then another power play goal. They lead by 3 at the end of 20 minutes. But
you know, you gave up 10.
in this game, and Boston has put together some good second and third periods this season.
Absolutely, anything can happen without a doubt, but hats off to Minnesota. They played really well, came ready from the drop of the puck to compete. They executed extremely well and were able to capitalize.
Britta Curl Salemi at 223. Lee Steckline at 308. Kendall Coyne Schofield on the power play at 1624. The Frost can stamp a spot in the playoffs with a regulation win.
So I'm a part of a piece of the puzzle, I think, but I don't know how much I'm contributing.
I'm sure you're contributing quite a bit. Quickly, PWHL, I mean, this has changed the entire landscape of not only the pro women's game, but how young girls are coming up and what they can kind of aspire to be. You deal with a lot of these players in the under 18s and much younger. Do you see the changes already?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, even being out here, it's just, you know, there's so much to aspire to. The hockey is just, it's just getting better. The opportunities are there, and yeah, just from all of the, you know, the excitement and the energy. I'm just thankful that I played back in the day when I did play, because the players are so great these days. Yeah.
They are, and you could be that second set of eyes now. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Vicky Sanahara, IIHF Hall of Famer. After the break, third period action. Scepters in charge, 1-1 through 40.
Ottawa seriously needs to win. I'm playing Block Blast. Started. Game time check, game time check, game time, we up.
This broadcast and its content are copyrighted by PWHL Holdings, LLC for the private use of our audience. All rights reserved. Any other use or reproduction of this broadcast without the consent of PWHL Holdings, LLC.
Oh, chat. Chat, am I cooked?
Holdings, LLC for the private use of our audience. All rights reserved.
I might be cooked here. I might be cooked here. Oh no. Oh no. I'm cooked. I'm cooked, chat. Uh-oh. Who? Stick taps.
When you think of people that are heartbeats of these teams, Howie top of the list, CJ as well, and how about this in their debut game in the PWHL? CJ gets the win and also saw a familiar face in the locker room afterwards.
I have no idea what's going on. Speech.
You gotta love it, CJ with the win, and now Toronto looking for another win at home as we welcome you back inside Coca-Cola Coliseum. Kenzie alone with you alongside Becky Keller. And you think of CJ's performance not only in the shootout, but you think of the players that came down on them. You think Carpenter, denied. Fillier, denied. Eldridge as well. So an incredible performance from CJ. Kristen Campbell doing a lot of the workload here this afternoon in a tight game now as we head into the third period.
Well, it is. I mean, this is a 1-1 game, and Ottawa is fighting for their absolute lives right now. And, you know, I love their response on their goal. They give up a goal, you know, your backs are up against the wall. But it's players like Teresa Vanisheva, who, I mean, this is a player that has been so good for this team all year. And yes, she gets the primary assist on the goal, but it's the work that she does leading up to this goal. And she gets in
What's going on?
Right away. Crashes into the boards because she's coming in so hard, goes to throw that hit, misses, gets back up, and continues to engage in the battle. So it's that relentless pursuit of the puck.
Damn.
You know, her and Renata Fast
Playing football over here.
in the corner too. She gets her helmet is undone, back up again, one-handed back in that battle. So you've gotta love the work that she provided on that shift, and then eventually with the puck throws the pass out front, and it winds up on Jenner's tape and in the net. So it's that kind of work ethic, and I feel that the rest of the team started to piggyback off of that and really feed off of that, and you could start to see it become shift after shift. It was a good second period for all.
Yeah, they are.
We talked a lot about Vanisheva's goal scoring, but that was her 7th assist of the season, and Jenner just with the skilled play tops it off and into the net to keep this a 1-1 game. Each team has had a chance on the power play in this game, neither able to capitalize. The hits as well in that first period. Vanisheva put up 5 hits alone. She's playing some of her best hockey. Let's check in with the Ottawa Charge bench boss, Carla McLeod, as she's ringside with Rob Pizzo.
Coach, first period was a defensive battle. Second period certainly opened up a little bit. What can we expect in the third?
Well, we have to keep our momentum going. You know, I thought we had a strong second there, got some sustained ozone time and some good looks. So, you know, for our group, it's just about maintaining that and pushing even a little bit more.
I know a coach's job has to do with X's and O's, but how much in the dressing room was your job to keep them calm and understand that even though it's 1-1 and there's a lot to go for here?
I don't think I ever heard her talk before.
Yeah, I think we got such a veteran group in that room that it's not really anything I need to worry about or talk about. They've got it under control.
Definitely Canadian.
What this moment means, and we're going to do right by it.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you.
So let's check in with this Minnesota game. Quinn Schofield on the far side comes in, a tip in front, and just like that, it's 3-0 for the Frost. So you look at what this means for the Ottawa Charge. If Minnesota wins this in regulation, this is a must-win for Ottawa in any fashion this afternoon if they want to take
Hey,
it to
man.
the postseason.
That Minnesota team is absolutely incredible. I mean, they just
Chat, is the cure to male loneliness Carla McLeod?
2 games to Toronto. They found a way to come back, go into the Walter Cup finals.
Here we go.
That's a team that, and they got all sorts of skill, all sorts of talent, and they seem to have all sorts of fight in them too.
They step up when the game's on the line, when the team needs them most. You've seen Heisey really elevator game in the playoffs last year. Cava as well. You saw the goaltending change. Rooney did a bulk of this.
Hello.
Into the Walter Cup final. Hensley ran away with that starting position.
Of course, what that means for Boston as well, there's got to be some fight in them too, because if Ottawa wins this game and Minnesota wins that game, it's Boston that is the odd team out, and so you know that they know the situation as well, and there's going to be some fight from them.
One more period to go for Ottawa.
There we go.
Clark steals this puck away. against Blair Turnbull on the far side. Renata Fast. Talked about how she played 10 minutes in the first.
Shoot.
9:03 there in the second. Collides with the rock on the boards.
Well, they've had a couple
I hope the next season will be.
Clark trying to settle this at center. Miller takes it back. She'll chip it deep in the zone. Anna Miller's done quite well against Ottawa as well this season. When you look at their series points.
I'm working on the the WNBA video. By the way, I haven't forgotten about it. I just wait till last minute to do it. Now I have like 2 weeks to get it done. I have about 10 hours of footage to go through. Oh wow.
Outworks the pressure, tries for the stretch pass. Flanagan reads the play and it'll be offside.
D'Arcangelo was looking to stretch the zone, but Venisheva couldn't quite get that pass in behind Flanagan. So that's one you want to make sure you connect on, because that can be an awfully bad turnover if you're not careful.
Face-off will come just outside.
All turnovers are awfully terrible.
Leslie playing here with Meiksner and Mrazovich, been elevated to this line. Allie Monroe, assistant captain here with the Scepters. Feeds it to center. Bell wants it back. Leslie gets a touch on it, but Watts gains control. Flanagan off the glass and out. Icing will be the call.
Boo.
Canadian Tire is proud to be a founding partner of the Professional Women's Hockey League. Together, we're building a stronger future for women's hockey on and off the ice.
It's an interesting change on this line. Serdachny no longer on this line with Mrazova, so coach making some in-game adjustments to see if she can get something from this line.
Leslie rounding out Mrazova and Meiksner. Ashton Bell. In deep. Anna Meiksner tied up by Monroe. Karolova, far side, looking for Ashton Bell. Watts gets on the loose puck. Former charge forward. Looking for Daniel at center. Into the hands, Karolova. Flanagan, quick pass over. Has some time. Shellman will take it. It's Vasco's skate to the Toronto bench, so it'll be a whistle.
A good read from Vasco through the neutral zone to step up on that puck. And Toronto trying to make that long pass. Vasco, another player that has been effective in this game and just using what she can, which is
Bum ba-dum ba-dum. Ba-dum ba-dum ba-dum. Ba-dum ba-dum ba-dum. Ba-da-da-da-dum da-dum.
For the charge this season. Also in a game against Minnesota.
That was a big goal. Sent that game to overtime.
Vasco. That's it now. Zoe Boyd, a foot race up against Connors. Steals it away. Toronto now deep in Ottawa's territory. Loose puck, Connors takes a look. 2 goals on her season. Looking to make a pass on the far side as the puck trickles into Ottawa's bench. To the PWHL.
Yeah.
A first of its kind apparel collection available exclusively.
Body. Rock your body right. Bags back, all right.
Shop the collection live.
Unks, 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 unks.
As we look around Coca-Cola Coliseum, a lot of blue in the stands. Their final regular season home game. Clinch their ticket to the playoffs, but a chance to finish first overall on the line for them here.
Unks,
Also
unks,
have to keep our
unks,
eyes on
unks,
Montreal as well to make that
unks,
possible.
Fast did a really nice job to take Clark out of that play on the forecheck.
Emma Woods to Skamura. Draws it in. Her shot save made by Phillips, who gets a stick up high.
Come on.
Drops down, but back to her feet, going to Phillips. Clark steals the puck away. Right back to Mrazova.
I definitely tell that. I feel that this is the last game of the year and that Ottawa needs to win this. I definitely feel that.
Picks up the puck, looks ahead on the near side. Comfer cuts to center. A high, hard, and heavy line here for head coach Troy Ryan going to work.
Ottawa, come on. Oh, they're doing it again. They're doing it again. Can't get out of their zone.
Comfer protects, pushed off by LaRock into the skates of D'Arcangelo. Finds Jenner at the far side, and she chips it in.
This period has a little bit more of the feel of the first, like it's tightened up defensively, a lot of perimeter play.
Boyd will look to send it on net, tipped in front. Campbell with a bad save.
Well, that's how you get yourself inside when you're struggling to skate the puck in. Nice point shot to traffic in front.
A nice Sioux chant to round out that great save by Toronto's goaltender. Monroe watches on as Boyd looks to center for Meister. And Meister out wide for Ottawa. Into the glove for Kristen Campbell.
Campbell with a couple saves in the last little bit. And
Oh.
both teams struggling really to get inside position.
I didn't even realize. I didn't realize. There is a 3-game overlap. I didn't even notice. But Victoire, Sirens, we're doing it.
CJ got the start last game for Toronto. Kristen Campbell's last game before that, April 26th against Boston. It's up 12 of 15 in that loss. Clark on the boards for Ottawa. Looking to cut to center. It's caught up and Watt steals the puck away. It's Daniel at center, now Nurse. Sarah Nurse pushed off by Hughes, but she still got
Oh. Oh.
looks to hold on.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Harmon down low for Fast.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Makes some room for herself. Loose puck, Fast will pick it up. 16 assists now in her season play. Chance in front, Malte.
Okay, you know what we could do? We could do this. We could do this. Ready? Ready? Oh. Oh. Oh dear. Then I have this one. Wait. We do this.
Gets there just in time. Toronto has numbers though as Ottawa flips it to the far side. Rebecca Leslie looking to make a head-up play. Remains on this line for Ottawa. Looking for Mrazova at the far end. Katarina Mrazova pushes through traffic on the backhand.
What a fucking mess. What a mess. What a mess. That's a fleet.
Connors finds Spooner. Natalie Spooner shot on net. These two teams closed out the regular season last year. It was a 2-goal performance for Natalie Spooner. Was on to win MVP honors that season. Takes home.
Where's oh no, I lost Ottawa. I lost Ottawa.
This time it's Connors off the skates. Toronto with secondary chances in Ottawa zone here in the third period.
Montreal.
Skimura breaks free, draws it in, and her shot off the stick of Phillips.
My computer cannot comprehend. Cannot comprehend what is going on. What the hell?
Tend to be the ones that bite you as Toronto comes back into the zone with a couple more shots after that.
No.
On the way. Interference is going to be the call.
Oh god. Well, this is a disaster. This is a disaster. What a mess this is.
Welcome to the land of 10,000 rinks.
How do I close
Winter's freeze. And when the puck drops,
this?
come alive.
No.
But don't
How
be
do
fooled
I?
by the grace of our game. This chill molds champions with an icy resolve.
No.
For some, this cold is something to fear.
How do I get rid of the?
We invite you on our ice. Just don't expect warm reception.
This is what? Ottawa. My computer cannot comprehend. Oh no, I just want... Dude. What? No. Yeah, something like that.
Emma Woods to the penalty box on an interference call, and it looked like she just skated through Brianne Jenner's hands, middle of the screen. Jenner's set up in front of the net.
Dude, my
Out of her hands, so that one's going to be a penalty.
I cannot possibly comprehend what the hell is going on. Fuck.
Face-off for Ottawa, a big power play. Their season on the line, and a great advantage here. Taylova snaps it across. Venishva in front to save made. Redirect to the near side. Razova will pick it up. Power play brought to you by Royal Tiger Towel, paper towel, power through tough messes. Jenner shot. Jenner shot. A loose puck in front. Jenner's looking for it. It's stuck in the skates.
We're gonna have to lower the graphics here. Quality, give me 480. Actually, I wanna... Yeah.
Can they find a way? Razova, top of the circle, steps down, up high, Nana Taylova. You can lean on her. Years of experience with the Czech national team. Far side pass, Venishva, one-time shot, pucks loose in front, but it's all blue. Fast will gain a hold of it for Toronto.
Dark Angelo's just parked herself net front on that. And she does a good job there. She took a penalty last game, so she's got to be careful that she doesn't get too tight to the goaltender.
All right. All right. I just want to get rid of... How do I go into theater mode? I want to get rid of the search bar. Hang on, let me look up how to hide the search bar. Go into the Chrome setting, customize your toolbar. Settings. I don't have that. Wiki how.
Minnesota with the 3-goal lead, and you know you've watched them play too many times to think that they were going to blow that lead. They're a good defensive team, good structure.
And so if Minnesota wins in regulation, Ottawa must win in any way here to punch their ticket. A play in front, it's Campbell with a great save. Arcangelo tried for the wraparound.
No.
Now Dark Angelo with the opportunity to wrap that puck around, so Campbell's got to get her pad over to that post. A couple opportunities off this power play. This is the best one, and the one-timer from Teresa Venishva. She's got Dark Angelo parked out front. She's attracting a little bit of attention there, but she gets back up to try to get...
How do I hide the search bars?
And then Mike's off of the side. She's looking to go glove side high. She just can't connect. And the wraparound opportunity back to 5-on-5.
Our way through this third period.
If I hide the search bar, it's actually so much easier. Settings.
Izzy Daniel to center. Ashton Bell pulls it back to safety. Watts chases her, connects with Leslie just in time, and it's right back down in Toronto's end. Rebecca Leslie to center. It's Mikesa to the backhand. She'll be there for help. Has support from Razova. Down low now. Leslie as Nurse takes the tough collision down low. It's back to her feet. She'll engage in the board battle. Razova will pin her up against the boards. Savalainen keeps it in. A great job.
Go to appearance. There is no appearance.
Made her decision, jumped in and kept
No, it's right here. Put them on this toolbar.
Boyd battling through. Nurse has some room and she'll take it. Sarah Nurse through center floats it in. Scepters a full change. Otto as well.
Toggle off show bookmarks.
Ottawa right now with a massive lead in the shots departments, 21-9. They've really tilted the ice again.
And that happening in the second period. Not much on display in the first. Ottawa able to elevate their game in the second.
Of course, these two teams have had some big shot differentials. It's not always the team with the more shots that has won the games.
In front, Toronto looking for the rebound chances. Phillips will hold strong.
0-0 ad break.
Toronto just looking to pounce on that turnover below the net. Gwyneth Phillips has to make a big save.
Her first time seeing Toronto this season. All tied at 1 in the third period.
Toggle off show bookmark bar. You know what? That's actually a lot easier. Alright, I figured it out. I figured it out. Boom. Boom. Oh, there's a fight. There's a fight right here. But if we go to show bookmarks bar, that saves me a little bit of space. Just a little bit of space. And I think if we zoom out. Yeah, reset. Here. Turn off theater mode.
Team in the PWHL standings will get to choose between the 3rd and 4th place teams as their first round opponent, and that team will make that announcement on a special live episode of Jocks and Jills. You can watch the announcement live on the PWHL YouTube channel or at pwhl.com this Sunday, May 4th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, but a lot still to go before we find out.
What a mess. What a mess.
Minnesota, Boston, look at the Frost cruising. They've chased Aaron Frankel from the net, and Montreal and New York just minutes away from puck drop. Here in Toronto, Charge and Scepters tied at 1, so nothing written in stone yet.
What's this one?
So much on the line this afternoon. You see Frankel.
No, not gonna do it.
For Boston.
What the f...
Connors for Toronto tries for the shot, deflected to the corner. Monte first on it. Clark chasing it back down into Ottawa's territory.
I honestly don't really care about this game. Not gonna front with you.
Finding Jocelyn Leroy ahead for Clark. Emily Clark looking to make a centering feed. Hughes fires it in deep. Ottawa change. Out comes Venisheva. Jenner and D'Arcangelo. This line found a way in the second period. Fast end-to-end for Toronto. Stops in, or shot shoulder saved by Phillips.
She's a player you got to be so careful of through the neutral zone.
Oh no.
Stopped up by South holds the body long enough. Can't let the shot go.
Well, that's a nice block, but this zone time is all courtesy of Renata Fast being able
Where is it? It's right here.
Zone, so be careful when you set the angle on her to try to keep her outside.
Heard Sarah Nurse praising Renata Fast in her interview with Rob Pizzo in the intermission, saying her goal wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for the efforts of Fast.
Alright, but now since if we're doing that, we could do okay. There we go.
And if Minnesota earns that regulation win, Ottawa, it's a must win for them in any capacity in this game to keep their playoff chances.
Brianne Jenner with a little move at the blue line, so that one's going to be thrown offside. Renata Fast, who again has been so good. She gets the puck behind her own.
4! 4-0. Oh no. Oh no.
And this one's a tough one. Gwyneth Phillips got to make that blocker save. course, they get some zone time off of that as well. So you know how well she skates, certainly, and it's easier said than done to say you've got to do a good job angling and trying to force her out.
Oh no.
Turnover. Jocelyn Rock in for Ottawa. Has Meister driving. Looking to feed it far side. Leslie sends it back in the corner. LaRock looking for Mrazova. Quick pass over to Ashton Bell. Back for Katarina Mrazova. She has a lane and she'll take it. It's blocked, but it's a stop by Campbell. That ultimately is the difference maker. Toronto blocked 12 shots in the second period.
Campbell's had to see some through traffic, including that one. I'm not sure she knew exactly where that one went.
Ottawa will need to shoot from all angles here. They continue to increase the shot count this afternoon. Mrazova through the legs. Now off the skate to Fast. She'll chase. Mrazova looking to be first on it. Clear to the near side. Izzy Daniel protects. Looking for Turnbull. She'll go 1-on-2. Far side pass. Looking for Daryl Watts this time. Watts has help. Pushed off by Mrazova. Izzy Daniel seeing what she can do. Her rookie season here with Toronto. Daniel tracking this.
Well, did Montreal score?
It's a total foot race. Serdachny will use her frame. Great job by Serdachny.
What happened? What happened out here? Dude, what a fucking disaster. Yeah, Montreal scored.
Finds Savannah Harmon. Toronto into Ottawa's territory.
This one, when it hit off of Hensley, just wide.
Gabby Hughes is right there. The Lionel Lakes, Minnesota. Hughes spins back. She'll take another angle.
Behind
Spooner
Nicole
keeps
Hensley
chasing.
right now. Coming off of
They
her
were over
first
near
shutout
side
of
to
the
center.
season.
McMahon with some
Second
speed.
goal in PWHL history over the age
Makes the save.
to pitch a shutout. Joining Renee Desbiens, who had a shutout last season. The goal from James comes in 6:47 of the second. As they were offside.
What a mess.
Let's take a look at Minnesota's success against various teams this year. Interested to see how this bodes potentially with playoff matchups, GG.
Oh, all of them are 480. No, it's at 360. No, we're not watching all games. We're gonna go 480. Live. Ooh. What a mess! Alright, we're gonna mute. Mute.
In the standings at the end of the regular season.
These two games are the only ones that really matter.
You can't really win if you're the one seed. You're putting bulletin board material up one way or another. And Minnesota, about halfway through regulation, is poised to be in the playoffs once again. If they win in regulation, they're automatically in. As Hensley covers up here with 11:08 to go.
You guys do see what my screen is like.
Boston came out with some fire early in the second period, GG. How has Minnesota kind of steered things back to a little bit more even?
What a mess.
The play that they had. So Boston comes out, they had 2-3.
What a mess.
They were not able to put the puck in the
Yeah,
back.
we're gonna
However, Minnesota gets their one chance in the second period, and they're able to find it. And a lot of that is just their ability to pinpoint the shots.
Thrown in by Knight, another save Hensley. Outletted to McQuigg, too strong to stay on her stick as Panic.
It's a mess. There's a lot happening.
Skate. Our referees this afternoon are David Elford.
Watching hockey. Do you want to watch with me? I'm recording.
Oh, I will take you.
4-0, 1-0.
That whole defensive unit, what's going to be key is to use
The best thing I could do is
have
this.
been using their feet to get themselves out of the zone. So if they can just skate the puck more and have that center support, they'll have more success because the puck will be in the offensive zone and have chances to bring it on Nicole Hensley.
Toppany sandwiched at the blue line as she exits onto the bench, ending her shift.
Yeah, man.
Shopsall fights for it. Right in front of the scorer's booth. Boston has has won 8 of their first 10 games here at the Songus Center, but they're in danger of dropping this one. We're going to have a penalty on Minnesota. An interference.
It's actually not that messy. It's just this one. No, it's this one. This one's being allowed.
This is an important moment for the Boston Fleet to get back in the game, get a goal on the board if they can. Here's another look as Kava comes in and open ice takes out Boston Fleet player. So she'll sit for interference. And the #1 power play unit for the Boston Fleet.
Yeah, man, what a mess.
This is a Royale Tiger Towel power play. Second of the day for Boston. They came up empty on their first with 2 shots.
Wait, when the men come, and sugar and tea and rum. Wait, ba 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 ba.
Toppany now in the corner. Was kept with Maloney. Maloney back to Toppany. Toppany.
This isn't even.
Toppany now. Toppany. Pass to the slot just wide. A great feed to Bilka, who doesn't miss by much. Boston's made it tough on these penalty killers to sub off, but now it's cleared down Peslarova's way with 1:14 left.
Down low for Turnbull.
It looks like we're gonna go into.
We'll take a penalty here. The tripping call in below the goal line to send Toronto to the power play.
Just got some words for Renata Fast and back and forth. Fast down at the offensive.
Is it 2-0?
Particularly much either.
Yeah, it's 2-0.
The #1 power play in the league going back.
We don't really care about that game though.
Coming into this game, they were just 1 for 20.
Oh no!
Last 7 games. So as
Ottawa, don't do it! Don't do it! Don't fail now.
and then they battle up at the offensive blue line as well. Hughes maybe could have taken 2 on this play. You watch right there. Hughes just drops Fast, and Fast got some words for her after that.
So Toronto to the power play.
Ottawa just needs to win. They just need a point, right? Ottawa wins against Toronto. Wait. Minnesota loses to Boston. All right, so it looks like we are. If things go the same, it's 1-1 up here. I wish there was a way I could click and drag just like the size of this, right? Because that works. To be honest with you, that works. But Ottawa needs to win. If they lose in overtime, then Minnesota could not win in regulation. Power play, Toronto. It's also 2-0 Montreal, but we don't really care for this game. This game could go away, to be honest with you. We could check on it every now and again, which honestly I like the idea of that. That's so much better, actually. Oh boy.
Carter from the blue line. 140 seconds to go on this power play for Toronto. You've seen game-winning goals before from Ottawa's shorthanded capacity. As the period starts to wind down.
Wait, the weathermen come. Ottawa needs a goal here. Just needs a goal. Needs a goal. No other way to put it, really.
Nurse on the half boards, down low for Spooner. Takes a look, snaps it from Malte. Carter. Pass to Flanagan. She has a lane. She'll go for the pass. It's Nurse in front. A stop by Savalainen, but Nurse gets another chance at it.
Woo, this is is hockey right here. This is hockey. This is what the state of hockey is. Boston has more shots. Yeah. I didn't realize that.
That's a good defensive play. A couple good defensive plays off that side. Jocelyn Larocque as well, who may have saved a goal.
Toronto able to put up 3 shots on that power play as we return to even strength. Ottawa season on the line. Jenner looking for Venishova to the blue line. Taylorlova. She'll cut to the center and then a Taylorlova. One pass further. Ashton Bell.
Ottawa.
And she will. In the corner, it's Jenner. Takes a look. Jenner to Venishova. Trying for the backhand pass. Bell now pushed off by Gosling. Hand pass will be the call. 1:18 remaining. The faceoff will come outside Toronto's end in front of the Scepters bench as Ottawa will need to dig in.
Well, another nice push, though. They get that penalty killed, and then they get back down the ice and on the offense. And Taylorlova had a nice move at the offensive blue line. Either just couldn't quite pull the trigger. You wonder now if the name of the game is just going to be throwing everything to the net, not looking for the pretty play, but just get gritty.
Certainly an adjective that's been used to describe this Charged team all season long. A gritty, hard-nosed team. Hughes deep in the zone for Ottawa. Toronto in the charge end now as Fast takes a look. Final minute to go in the third period. We're all tied at 1. Ottawa, a must-win game to play in the playoffs this season. Off the stick of Comfort. Zoe Boyd pulls it in. Finds Emily Clark. Clark.
Oh, come on.
Punched by Fast in the boards. Another hard hit in the corner by McMahon. Ashton Bell from the blue line in front. Trickles just wide of the net. Under 30 seconds to go.
Last 30 seconds. Here we go.
Gets some room. Razova.
20.
Ashton Bell will stay
Dump.
on side as she sends it in, and Kristen Campbell will settle the puck. Rims it around. Savalainen cuts up, gets there in time. Keep this puck in the zone.
Ottawa just tried to put on some sort of attack here.
Puck loose to center.
And that's what happened.
Final seconds.
Continue to battle. You know, we got lots. 26 minutes left here, so we got to put one in and keep going from there.
Is there anything specifically that you're looking for this period for the team to do?
Puck's got to get to the
We're
net.
going into overtime.
To the playoffs. We'll step aside.
We're going into overtime.
Coliseum after the break.
Minnesota's also on the power play. Why am I not recording? Oh, I am. Okay, good. That's right. Bonus hockey on triple game day. Yeah, man. Here we go. Bum 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 bum.
Quick update on the other 2 games. Minnesota's now extended their lead over Boston to 4-0, a win, and they are in. And Montreal already with a 2-0 lead over New York. But now that Toronto has not won in regulation, first place locked up. That belongs to the Victoire. Overtime coming up. Let's send it back up to Kenzie.
Okay. Victoire. 5-0. Oh no. 5. 0. Ottawa, it's all in Ottawa's hands. It's all in Ottawa's hands.
All the pressure, the patience, she waits it
It's
out.
all in Ottawa. It's all in the hands of Ottawa.
I mean, we've seen that already tonight.
But Montreal.
Her ability to just hold on and wait for that opportunity, and you know on
Montreal has officially locked up first. Toronto does not win in regulation. Ooh. I'm excited, Rob. This is crazy. This is insane. Wow. My heart's thumping right now. Thump, 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 baby, rocking it. Quick pull pro, and I'm rocking it. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh no. Ah. And if nobody wins in 5 minutes, it's a shootout. It's a shootout. Look at Phillips screening. I don't know if Ottawa wins on I don't know if Ottawa wins in shootout. I don't trust the shootout. Come on. Man, I'm in it. I'm invested. I'm invested like I use Robin Hood. Bars. No, I'm playing.
Smart decision. And she was reading the entire way down the ice that she had no support.
Allie Monroe for Toronto. Has some room. Not much as Venetia presses her and takes her into the boards. Comfort right there for help. Monroe will try again.
Now Boston doesn't need to win this game. They just need Ottawa to lose. Oh no! This is a great race for first. Now, if Minnesota lost to Ottawa on Wednesday, this would not have been interesting. But this is chaos. This is what I wanted. 1-1, 5-0. Might still be 2-0 in the Montreal game. I don't know. Come on, Ottawa. Yeah! They're in! They're in! It wasn't a shootout. Ottawa is in. Oh, goodbye, Minnesota. Oh wait, no. Goodbye, Boston. Right? I believe it's goodbye, Boston. Toronto. It sucks, but you know they're still in it. They're still in it. They're you know, clinch. Minnesota just has to win in regulation, and then it's goodbye Boston. All the teams here are in control of their own destiny, and that's what happened. Finkel is out of the game. They benched her.
Savalainen's coming in hot. This is going to be a 2-on-1.
Ah, just a beaut. Just a beaut. What a beaut.
Go down and take that pass away. As soon as she goes down, it's that desperation play. She pulls it back, gets to the middle of the ice, and shoots back the other way to beat Campbell on the glove side. And look,
That was playoff hockey right there. That was playoff hockey right there.
ending today.
The arms straight up for head coach Karn LeCloud. Savalainen, a big hug for Katarina Mrazova. A goal she won't forget. A historic goal for this franchise.
All right. Now we watch
And of course, that really shakes things up because I think we came in today thinking, is it Ottawa or is it Minnesota who's going to be out of playoffs? And right now it looks like it's going to be Boston if they don't stage a major comeback.
Yeah, man. This is where we are. This is where we are.
What a moment. 2:08 remaining in overtime. They were out shooting Toronto as the game continued on.
Oh, they battled. They came to play.
They did battle.
The line. They gave up the first goal, but the response
They battled.
from this team.
They battled, eh?
To love, as they really dug in after that first goal, and they battled this game.
And for Toronto, a final regular season salute at center ice for their fan base and fan appreciation game.
Of course, this could just be the prequel.
Now-
We never know what's going to go on in the first round of playoffs. Montreal now in a position where they get to pick their first round playoff
Yeah.
opponent.
It's never a dull moment when it's a battle.
Yeah, honestly, I would like to see
Overtime, a thrilling fashion.
I think the city of Ottawa would like that rematch, would they not? Toronto,
Minnesota, Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto.
Katarina, you're heading to the playoffs. How does that feel?
Yeah, that's awesome. No, of course, I'm really happy for this group. You know, we work really hard and really
Good job. It's huge.
The only predominantly black, all-female unit.
You've had to deal with a lot this year, injuries-wise. We didn't even know if you were going to be in this game. How did that feel to score a big goal like that, given what you've gone through this year?
Yeah, it's never easy to come back after an injury, so I'm really happy I could push forward and just play the game.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
really happy to be back with the group because we have a lot of fun.
Huge. Chaos. Chaos.
Katarina Mrazova, your hero in Toronto. A franchise historic goal.
I'm probably gonna close this.
Nicole Hensley on this last play as
There we are.
Tommy rips the puck, comes up in the air, and Hillary Knight tries to knock it out of the air with her stick, but well done by Nicole Hensley to see the puck into her glove and make a diving save.
This is what we are doing.
Jake secures the face-off win for Minnesota. Jakes, who scored even strength to make it 4-zip. Now Zumwinkle, reigning rookie of the year, who had an awesome season last year, 19 points.
I'm sure they take a team vote.
Second in the league in goals.
Like, hey guys, who do we want to face?
Shorthanded goals as well.
And honestly, if you were Toronto, you'd probably pick Ottawa because you want that rematch.
Here's Rattray.
But also the other thing is I want Toronto, or I want Minnesota, because we just lost to the team. And we're not trying to lose in the playoffs, so you want somebody else to... You have vengefulness, and then you have... It's somebody else's problem. Those are the two.
To Peyshova. She looks towards goal, and it hits off of Brandt and bounces wide. Less than a minute left in the second period. Peyshova, another save, Hensley. Hensley has not...
Now Boston has been... they've been shooting. They've outshot Minnesota now.
Two shutout frames against Boston. Here's Knight. Knight, backhand shot. Hensley's got another. Boston cannot crack the code. That is Nicole Hensley.
Now Ottawa did give up 6 goals.
In tight, she's just, we talked about her at the beginning of the game. She's just so good at right position. Look at that angling, able to deflect the puck,
Hey,
trying for a
man.
backhand. The puck was rolling though.
It's hockey.
And so it's hard to corral it. She's able to get some speed onto it, but Nicole Hensley, as you mentioned, David, shutting the door.
Hensley has stopped 41 of 41 shots over her last 2 games, including this afternoon. Whistle blows with 10.7 left in the second period. Again, if you're just joining us, Ottawa beat Toronto in overtime. Katarina Mrazova with the game-winning goal at 2:52 of the overtime period, assisted by Emily Clark. Ottawa is in the playoffs. Minnesota with a regulation win would get the 4th and final spot. That does it for the second period, and more answers for Minnesota. Boston still has yet to score. Tough feeling in the building, but right now Minnesota just out-executing the Fleet.
They are, and I thought they had better chances. The Boston Fleet had better chances this period. However, as you mentioned, I think the story is Nicole Hensley shutting the door. She's been strong and solid on all her reads, great saves, and talk about executing in her net. Also, at the other end, Minnesota has scored and put the puck in the net when it mattered most.
Alright, so now we're focused on this game.
We'll go on the power play here. Excuse me, yes, of course, power play.
That likes to play on their side on the power play. Instead of being on the off wing for the one-timer, which she's got a very good one, she relies on her wrist shot, playing on her flank to create a lot of damage.
Dakota. Yeah.
And while Montreal's power play has been pretty good overall, good for 3rd best in the league right now at just over 16%. New York has been excellent on both sides of the special teams battle all season and currently ranked 1st in the PK.
The one thing that New York wanted to build was a culture, but they also wanted to build in some defensive accountability, and at the very least, they got that certainly under wraps. That they were a team where the occasional leaker here and there killed them, but defensively, they were pretty steady all year.
Taven looking to center, lost it momentarily, able to get it back. Abby Boreen banks it off the boards up high out to Wilgren. Back to Taven. Taven, shot, blocked. Downey Landry again, scoops it up and takes it the other way shorthanded. Downey Landry didn't like the look, goes back for Hobson. Now Hobson will try to gain the zone for the Sirens. Fresh legs onto the ice for New York. Wilgren scoops up the
That'd be cool to see New York winning, because fuck Montreal. But it really doesn't matter.
Tries to fight through a check by LaBelle.
Nothing in this game matters anymore.
Back to Levy. 4 minutes to go here in the opening frame.
Oh, it's whiffed.
Turnover momentarily, but Hobson able to get it right back.
That's icing.
Icing waved off as
No.
they bank it off the boards and out to neutral ice once more. Shelton over to Eldridge. Abby Rock winds up and fires, deflected wide.
Oh.
A wraparound try wasn't there for
Thought she
Eldridge.
collided into her own player.
Simpson slings it across the blue line for Shelton. Looking for a bounce off the end boards, but Montreal comes away with it.
Like Rock going short side there, trying to get a deflection or big rebound either off the waffle or right goal pad of the goaltender Damien. Just a little good hockey IQ play to try to create a secondary play.
Here's a chance and a big save by Damien.
C'est bien. Bien means good. Oh, and they're fighting.
Damien says no.
I want to turn on my Minecraft. Chat, I have 2 other channels, by the way. I have a lot of big videos, but editing big videos is a kind of a pain in the ass, not gonna lie.
moments ago inside the Ottawa Charge dressing room. How happy is Carla McLeod, and how happy are those Charge players? Remember, last year, Ottawa just barely missed out on the playoffs on the final day. It's something they talked about throughout the season as Charge player dressing room. How happy is Carla McLeod, and how happy are those Charge players? Remember, last year, Ottawa just barely missed out on the playoffs on the final day. It's something they talked about throughout the season as motivation to make sure they don't let it happen again. They get the overtime win, securing their spot in the playoffs. And right now, it appears as Boston is in, that is going to be a tall task for that to stay the same, because Minnesota right now is playing Boston, and they're up 5-0 in the second period. And so if Minnesota goes on to win that in regulation, that would be 3 points, and Minnesota has the tie over Boston, which would mean that Boston would be the odd team out. We've got another power play, this time for the Sirens, presented by Royale Tiger.
So last year, Minnesota snuck back in last year. So yeah, last year Ottawa just missed on the final day, and today they got their get back. Minnesota probably would not have been the team. Does that mean Ottawa could have been the team? Probably not. That would probably been somebody else, but you know, that's history, man.
Ends up coming out to neutralize, and here comes Marie-Philippe Poulin in short-handed, has Dalton with her. Dalton, saved by Levy.
Oh, Dalton tried to drag Levy all the way to her glove side, and Levy recovered well to shut down the far side attempt, but Poulin, what she does best, the little thing, is that's just a little pickpocket on Bourbonnais. Off to the races she goes. Look at this little sauce. And a big-time save by Abby Levy. Just a little chip pass into space. And Levy had to make a real tough save, and she does. But what a by Poulin.
Levy's been good with the pads a couple of times here today. Tough start to the game when you allow Marie-Philippe Poulin to score 11 seconds in. But since then has settled in pretty nicely.
And Bourbonnais will get the gate for hooking. We go to 4-on-4.
4-on-4 for about 13 seconds. And then another power play for that dangerous Victoire team. Icing.
So what this does now for Montreal is now you get an offensive zone draw, and you're going to get your player back.
I mean, you still are playing to win no matter what, because like, yeah, you want to win, of course.
5-on-4 for the full power play. It's a nice little advantage Montreal just got on that icing by New York.
Poulin trying to win the draw clean. Instead, the Sirens able to collect the puck. Gabby Rosenthal chips it out.
I guarantee you that as the expansion draft starts to materialize, one of the high priority things on shopping lists for whoever's going to run those teams is going to be players that can win key face-offs defensively and can win key face-offs killing penalties, because it is such a big part of the game.
Oh wait, I wanted to see which game is on the TV.
Aaron Ambrose.
Probably New York.
Trying to set something up here on this power play presented by Royale Tiger Towel. Poulin will lead the charge now. Chipped in by Stacy, who goes to work in the corner.
All right, the game that's on the TV is the Boston and Minnesota game.
Just out of her reach, and Debian
That's the.
back up for Poulin. Poulin has Gardner, tried to feed her.
So yeah, it wasn't Ottawa or anyone.
Clears. assignment. From below the goal
YouTube
line,
is still ahead.
but the horn
All right,
sounds.
horn sounds.
What a chance there late.
End of the first.
3-0.
Tsunami. Sudan.
As these teams are eyeing a championship and the opportunity to hoist the beautiful Walter Cup handcrafted by Tiffany & Co. Let's take a closer look as to how this beautiful trophy was crafted.
Here they're yeah. Look at like the niceness. And also it's in slow-mo, so it looks like a lot more precise. And I'm sure it is precise, but it's not like as precise as they're making it seem like. Get that nice polish. Is it stainless steel? You would think so, right? Maybe aluminum? But you don't want it rusting, and you did dip it in water. It's a very good looking cup. Alright, we're just getting started.
Such an interesting way of being able to put the puck in the net. How did you connect on that?
I mean, she did all the work. I was just there. Like, she did a nice pass, and I just tried to tip it in. So it's all on her.
Well, you've had such a great run of games right now. You're on a 3-game point streak. What have you found about maybe the way that your line is clicking that you feel is taking it to the next level?
Well, I mean, we worked the whole year, so I think it's just like a matter of now we have more confidence and we trust each other to put the puck in. And I mean, it's all about my teammates. They did everything with the work for me. I'm just in there, and I got lucky to put the puck in.
We talked about the team. You guys know that you're number one. How do you keep your foot on the gas to continue through this game?
For us, it's a process. We just want to get better every period, every game, because we want to be ready for the playoff.
Thanks so much, Catherine.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, not necessarily. Coach Kessel sometimes goes in quickly, and so it could be that, but it also, as you mentioned, could be a players-only situation where they're rallying together and just really trying to respond for this last 20.
Yeah, Boston's season is on the line right now. Ottawa beat Toronto in overtime. The Charger in the playoffs. If Minnesota locks this up with a regulation win, they will be as well, and they came out to play. 5 goals across 2 periods.
From the drop of the puck, their energy was high, and their execution is outstanding so far today. A strong D pinch leads to Curl Salemi ripping the puck. Another D gets in the action as Lee Steckline gets her 3rd goal in the past 2 games. Kendall Coyne-Schofield banks the puck off. A defender for a power play goal, up 3-0. Aaron Frankel's pulled. Pashtarova's number gets called, so she plays in the second, gets the nod in the second period, but more Minnesota Frost. Sophie Jakes converts on a 3-on-2, and then look at this power play tic-tac-toe passing as Curl Salemi gets her 2nd goal on the day to put her team in a commanding nothing goal lead.
11:22 of ice time for Curl Salemi. 2 goals to put her up to 9 on the season. The 2nd round pick out of Wisconsin by way of Bismarck, North Dakota, as her hometown. Has been awesome today and has Minnesota 20 minutes away from sneaking in.
Awful music mix. I didn't hear a word he said.
Big difference. Minnesota has converted on both power plays. Boston is 0 for on the advantage. And Boston has been physical, +9 in hits, but Minnesota's speed and the way they've capitalized has made the huge difference.
Absolutely. Their speed has, even though Boston has had more hits, it hasn't slowed the Minnesota Frost down as they've been able to really put pressure on the defenders, push them back, create space in front of the goaltender Nicole Hensley, and move the puck immediately from their defensive zone into the offensive zone where they've had so many high-quality scoring chances.
Entering the day, Boston, Ottawa, and Minnesota were fighting for 2 playoff spots, with Montreal and Toronto already in. Ottawa is now in, so all 3 Canadian teams will be in the playoffs this season. And Minnesota, if they're able to secure a regulation win, would be in as the 4th seed. Boston needs 1 point or more. So you do some quick math, they need 5 goals in this 3rd period to keep their season alive.
And that, obviously, with a regulation win, moves them into a tie with a 44. But again, the regulation wins overall. Minnesota has the lead in that, and so they will jump above Boston if it comes down to that.
Entering the day, Ottawa had 12 regulation wins. Boston and Minnesota each had 9. So if this score holds and Minnesota gets 3 points, you have 3 teams all at 44 points. Ottawa would be the 3 seed, and Minnesota, with their 10th regulation win potentially here today, would be 4th. Boston, despite having the same number of points as Minnesota and Ottawa, would be the odd team out. 20 minutes to the playoffs for the Minnesota Frost, defending champs of the PWHL. Boston needs to get on the board early and often here in this 3rd period if they want a prayer at the postseason. Good news for Boston is they've been really good in the 3rd period.
Yeah, but they need to score 6, giving 0, which has happened before. But it was Ottawa. And New York? Or was it Toronto? It might have been Toronto. One of the blue teams.
Can Boston start to chip away? Here's Sonia. And quickly over is Heisey to get it out of her stick and back to the neutral zone. Your goal scorers for the Frost today: Curl Salemi twice, Steckline, Coyne-Schofield, and Jakes.
We just got started.
This is Brandt. Brandt 1-on-2. Spun onto the boards by Thompson, who's able to take it away. Thompson ahead to Heisey.
I am not recording.
And fight into the corner with Peshova muscling it away.
Oh, oops.
Boston came out with good energy in the first few minutes of the second period. This one is tossed behind goal as Hensley is drifting to the far post. DiGirolamo, who's played every regular season game of the first 2 years of her PWHL career, out there on the blue line for Boston right now. That's Jakes, who's able to flip it over a Boston stick, and Jakes has it back in the corner. Strong pass up ahead to Coyne.
You'd really like to see on some of these neutral zone regroups a weak side defender jump into the play and I'll give Boston some numbers attacking the offensive zone.
It's a PWHL triple header here on the last day of the regular season. First game of the day is in the books. Ottawa overtime winners over Toronto 2-1 at Coca-Cola Coliseum. Montreal taking on New York and is up a pair 2-0 at the end of the first. Turnover. And Petrie's going to take her time. Batherson looking in front. Keller's stick able to poke it to the end boards. Pearl Salemi has 2 goals today. There have been 5 hat tricks in the PWHL this year. 2 by Teresa Venisheva of Ottawa. Her teammate Cheyenne Darby.
I don't think I've witnessed a hat trick, have I?
Boston.
I don't remember.
Here's our Marie-Philippe Poulin and Hillary Knight. Here's Knight off of the post and it stays out. Top
Damn.
corner and somehow not able to cross the goal line. Snapped in. Hensley makes a save with the stick right in front of her pads. Saulnier throws it towards goal and Hensley makes another stop.
Hillary Knight has had such a good game so far with her scoring chances. Watch this release as she lets it go above Hensley's shoulder, but just off the crossbar. Here's a second look of it, an overhead look. See how it rings the pipe and comes out, but that's probably Hillary's 4th quality scoring chance.
Are they still talking about this?
Conversation, and
Knight
we'll see how it
has 4
all.
shots today. Gigi, that extends a streak for Hillary Knight. 40.
Are they empty netting it?
With multiple shots for Hillary Knight going all the way back to last season. Every single
Boston.
year.
Boston is empty netting it?
Knight has 2 or more shots.
It's incredible.
I'm not sure what's going on here.
In positions to be able to
Shot. Hillary Knight going.
Hillary Knight.
Knight has 4 shots today. Gigi, that extends a streak for Hillary Knight. 40 straight games with multiple shots for Hillary Knight.
17 minutes to score 5 goals, I guess. I mean, yeah, this is pure desperation.
Has 2 or more shots.
What was it? I don't know what's going on. Like, what are they talking about?
Is really the question here.
Empty net. At Boston, empty net. Pure desperation now. Nothing to do other than score 6 goals. Technically 16 minutes to score 5, and then you could score 6 later, but
Turned over. Zumwinkle looking towards goal. Nice job by Morin to get in the way at her own blue line. Bilka gets it around the end boards where Toppany tries to get to it, but Thompson is able to throw it out.
yeah, Boston better skate. It's icing.
Back Zumwinkle for icing.
I mean, this is like pure desperation.
Minnesota just getting the puck out. Icing will keep bringing it back.
And that means faceoffs are going to be huge.
Yeah, good point.
And so if you're going to have the goalie pulled, which right now Pesharova went back, a lot of that has to do with the matchups. And you almost wonder if she's going to be out of the net every time you're in the offensive zone with the Hillary Knight, Bilka, and Toppany line on the ice.
All right.
Trying to beat back McQuigg.
Probably because of the face-off, they want to put her in.
Shooting Minnesota. Shots here in this third period.
They're in desperation mode. There's nothing you can say other than that.
Shot the Frost 15-6 in the second period as well.
I think 1 goal though, and it's over. This is just like we already lost. but we still need to try to win type of stuff, type of play. Dumping it. I don't know where the puck is there. Icing. I mean, they're gonna keep shooting it all the way down there until they make it. So we're gonna be here for a while.
Face-off will come to the right of Hensley.
That's a 16-minute power play.
18's primary face-off taker. Panic entered the game 4th. Check that, 2nd in the league in face-off wins. Toppany entered the game 5th in that category. Morin shoots.
Oh.
Hensley makes the save, dribbling in. Hensley dives down to cover up. Morin had a chance on the
Damn.
rebound.
Still they're trying.
And if Boston wants to have success,
They're trying.
do what Morin did. Sydney Morin moved the puck, and by moving and skating with her body, it opened up lanes. See, no one is able to block the shot, and Minnesota's done a fantastic job blocking shots, being in shot lanes, and so that was a great work by Sydney Morin.
It was Morin with the initial shot and Bilka with the rebound chance. Anna Bilka missed a lot of time with injury. As Peshlerova's back in, it's even strength, 5-on-5. Pass just out of the reach of Hannah Brandt. But DiGirolamo is there. Wards off Coyne Schofield and goes to the opposite side. Frost will get it back in the neutral zone. Coyne turns up ice. 50 move to get past Gable and she throws it deep and comes off.
Alright, she's back in the net.
Over 5 minutes gone in this final period. Curl looking for a third. Peshlerova makes the save. That was a hummer, and it came in from Britta Curl-Salemi, who has 2 goals in this one. One at 2:23 of the first, and the most recent goal on the power play at 14:58 of the second.
Sure, the vibes
numbers. Gia
are not
just
great
throws
right
it in
now.
on Hensley off of her paddle. And wide. Backhand thrown from the corner. Rattray tries to get it back to Bard. Bard moving along the half wall. Thompson turns around. Just out of the reach of Gia. Gia told our Natalie Nori heading into the locker room that she's going to stay positive, give her teammates confidence, and just try to chip away at this Minnesota lead 1 goal at a time. We're still looking for that first, though. Knight, Bard. Bard back to Toppany. Knight taps it towards Hensley.
Oh my goodness.
Toppany, a beautiful feed to the captain, but it stays out.
Heads up play. Redirect.
Oh, what a good redirection too, man. Damn. They just can't get it, you know?
The land of 10,000 rinks, where we embrace winter's freeze. And when the puck drops, we come alive. But don't be fooled by the grace of our game. This chill molds champions with an icy resolve.
For some, this cold is something to fear. For us, it ignites our passion. We invite you on our ice. Just don't expect a warm reception.
Stay frosty. Stay frosty. We are live in all games, right? Yeah. Bum 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 bum.
this broadcast and its content are copyrighted by PWHL Holdings LLC for the private use of our audience. All rights reserved. Any other use or reproduction of this broadcast without the consent of PWHL.
I'm sorry, I'm already cooked. I'm cooked.
Once again, the net is empty. Klara Peslarova's on the bench. Boston is trying to get back in this one. They got a long way to go. Minnesota up 5-zip. Would secure their spot in the PWHL playoffs if they're able to finish out a regulation win. Boston needs 1 or more points. But right now, they're staring at 0. Another icing as this game has ground to a halt with all of the icings, and Minnesota just desperate to get it out of their own zone. They'll take the icings all day.
And they'll be able to do that when you have Kelly Panic winning so many draws in the defensive zone.
Keller looking towards goal, and another glove save. Hensley, she has been light.
Damn. Oh my God.
Made all types of saves on shots.
So it's been about 5-10 minutes.
Following up her shutout against
And we're still only 3 minutes down on game clock. I mean, it's been icing, save,
She had 24 saves. She's here this afternoon.
like ice, freezing the puck, and a commercial break.
In OT. Bouncing puck top, and he can't get to it. Montreal leads New York 2-zip at the start of the second period.
Yeah, if you're Boston, you don't like Minnesota very much.
With the Toronto overtime loss.
You lost to them in the finals last year, and they're ending your season now. That's a goal. 6-0. It was gonna happen. It was gonna happen.
Put this game further and further out of reach.
You know what I mean? Oh, what's up? I'm sorry I didn't see you. I'm sorry. I'm not paying attention to chat.
To first get her the puck, but as she comes across the line, puts it right in dead
I'm
center.
sorry.
To add to the Minnesota
That's on me.
lead to
I'm kind of, you know,
6-0 over the Boston Fleet.
watching hockey.
This matches their most goals in a game this season. They scored 6 against Toronto in the 3rd game of the year. This is the top scoring offense in the PWHL, now up to 83 goals on the
Yeah,
season.
it's over. Are they? Don't tell me Boston is still trying to empty net save it.
Had 2 assists against Toronto a couple games back, and she gets on the board with an empty netter. Still not even midway through this 3rd period.
Wow! Oh, what a save!
Minnesota jumped on Boston quick. Goals at 2:23 and 3:08 of the 1st period. Boston was down a pair in the blink of an eye. As Hensley able to steer the blocker and push that puck to the corner.
Hey man.
Minnesota added 1 more on the power play in the 1st. In front, diving out.
Yeah.
Hensley able to cover up once again. Brandt had a look. And Himlarova steered.
If team pulls goalie with 15 or more minutes, opposing can only.
A strong forecheck by Boston Fleet. Watch how Jeannie Lee Rattray gets in there, and she kind of throws it net front. But Hannah Brandt, such a smart high F3, able to find that soft space net front and get a chance on net.
Chaos off of the draw, but another save from Hensley. Peslarova's in there for Boston in goal. Coyne has her shot deflected by Bard. Brandt tries to push it along on the far half wall, and now Brown is harassed from behind by Coyne Schofield. She has just such a high motor. Does the Minnesota captain all over the ice.
Yeah, man.
10% every shift.
It's over for.
She does an awesome job with utilizing her speed to create chaos by putting pressure on the opponent, and it forces you to think so much faster.
It's over for Boston.
Sides here as Shishova tries to run it down. Shishova, college teammate of Kendall Coyne Schofield at Northeastern. As Thompson nearly collides with Shishova as they enter the zone, and they were offsides. I want to go back to Kendall Coyne Schofield a little bit, Gigi, because you said earlier in the game when talking over a replay of her goal that she is the fastest woman in the world. At 32 years old, how difficult is that to just have that same speed and motor when you got, you know, rookies who are 22, 23 coming into the league?
And she gave birth as well. She's a mom, came back, and is still flying on the ice. It's absolutely amazing how talented and gifted she is, and the work ethic she puts.
Yeah, it's on playing Block Blast. No, I don't want to hear anything of it.
The body that she was given and the mind that she was given, and just it's so fun to watch her compete at the highest level consistently.
This might be a dumb question. Can you work on speed as a player? Can you work to try to get faster?
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. But there are some people who are just God-given talents, and Kendall Coyne-Schofield has incredible amount of speed.
Boston just can't keep it out of their net.
Well,
you know, like, yeah, I mean, it was an awful first period.
So hard for everything she's been given, and she's just done an incredible number for women in all sports, and it's just so fun to see her succeeding.
But like more hits, you know, they're trying. Boston lost, but it wasn't from a lack of trying.
Frost has to love the effort that she's seen from her team here this afternoon. They needed a regulation win to clinch a playoff spot, and they are 9:52 away from a convincing regulation win. 6-0 the score. Goals in every period for Minnesota. Boston had to yank their starter Aaron Frankel after 20 minutes. And despite outshooting Minnesota now by 8, they have yet to find a goal. Out of the reach of Knoll. Brown is back. And in the neutral zone, tossed ahead softly by Jakes. Jakes scored Minnesota's 4th goal of the day. Zumwinkle has 3 assists to lead all scorers from Minnesota. Curl has 2 goals. McQuigg has a goal and an assist. Those are all of your Frost with multiple points. As with 8:59 to go, Minnesota's going to go back on the power play. They love what they're seeing. Minutes away from a spot in the playoffs.
I'm still an advocate for having that takeover tour game in Mexico. Not New Mexico, I mean Mexico. The country. Don't tell me we're in dual commercial break. Oh, we're in dual commercial break. How boring.
Welcome back to the Songus Center in Lowell. The Fleet have had their chances. This is a power play look. Sophie Shirley right in front off the toe of goaltender Nicole Hankley. And then
You know, sometimes it sucks and suck. And Boston is Minnesota's number 2.
Hillary Knight, the captain, coming down. Had a great look. Another post by Boston.
Yes, technically I was the second choice. But I was the first choice's first choice. So. Oh my god, my thighs.
This is a Royale Tiger Towel power play. Minnesota
I barely did, like, I did a few amount of squats, but I haven't done squats in a while. I haven't worked out as much as I should. That's on me for real.
Most recent goal is from Brooke McQuigg on an empty net to make it 6-0, matching the most goals scored by Minnesota this year. Most goals scored by any PWHL team was 8 by Ottawa in an onslaught against Minnesota earlier this year. Final score was 8-3. Back on February the 13th. And that was just 3 days ahead of the most recent meeting between Minnesota and Boston. That's right, these two teams last played in mid-February, with Minnesota winning 4 of the first 5, 2 in regulation, 2 in overtime. Boston just with the win on February 16th, 4-2. It was their only regulation win against the Frost. Big hit laid on Brant, but arms stay down as the power play continues. 35 seconds to go on the power play. Batherson, little misdirection, and a glove save, Tashlarova.
Katie Knoll with a strong play. She's the one that put a body on Hannah Brandt in the penalty kill. And the crowd had a response. The crowd was looking for.
They just had to make it to overtime.
Katie Knoll and her teammates are able to stay on the power play.
That's all they had to do. And that they could not. It's over for like both, for like all games. I'm probably gonna just finish this game and then we're gonna call it good.
Some pinball action in the neutral zone. Backhands it deep.
I also don't know like what else I'm doing today. I'd like to do something else other than be cooped up in my room. I'm probably gonna be cooped up in my room for the most part, but you know.
In the playoff picture, here's Knight. Knight shot is deflected wide off of the glass. They got a 3-0 win against Ottawa to keep their playoff hopes alive. Got a full 3 points, and on the verge of closing out their regular season with 2 straight regulation wins against the teams closest to them in the standings. Talk about clutch play from these defending champs, the Frost, showing their mettle.
The Frost staying. Stay frosty.
Hensley makes the save. Collisions by
And they're fighting. And they're fighting.
for a whistle. Speaking of the defending champs, Minnesota.
What's going on in the Montreal game? Power play. I'm not paying attention to the Montreal game at all.
They won 3-0 in Game 5 to become champs. Funny thing is, they were the 3 and 4 seeds entering the playoffs, and Gigi, we've talked about it all year. Parity in this league. Just because you're a top 2 seed doesn't mean you're winning in the semis.
Absolutely, it's such a close game. It's all the games are so.
The semis? No,
so
semis.
close in this league.
What are you
Just the
talking
parity,
about?
As you mentioned, David, and
Damn Canadian.
The talent is through the roof, off the charts. It's so fun. That's why this league is just enjoyable to watch because of the product on the ice.
And New York, even though they'll miss the playoffs for the 2nd straight year, much improved from last season. First team eliminated from playoff contention, but because they got some points after elimination, and because no other team was eliminated heading into the final day of the regular season, New York will pick first of the original 6 teams in the entry draft. Doesn't mean they'll have the first overall pick, but they will pick first of the 6 current teams in the league.
That's how drafting works.
Regular season in year 2 of this fantastic league that has averaged over 7,300 fans a game through the first 84 games of the regular season.
No, it's this one.
That has averaged over 72 of this fantastic was eliminated.
And that's why this league is just enjoyable to watch because of the product on the ice.
And New York, even though they'll miss the playoffs for the 2nd straight year, much improved from last season. First team eliminated from playoff contention, but because they got some points after elimination, and because no other team was eliminated heading into the final day of the regular season, New York will pick first of the original 6 teams in the entry draft. Doesn't mean they'll have the first overall pick, but they will pick first of the 6 current teams in the league. Nearing the end of the
I do remember a thing earlier in the year where we learned that to like avoid tanking, if you get points after you're eliminated, you're first overall, right? Something to that effect. And you know, New York is the only eliminated team. Boston looks to be the next eliminated team, so they're gonna be so New York gets the first pick between the 6 original teams, but because of the 2 new cities, I believe they're they get the first 2 picks, but then it's New York. So yeah, technically it's not over, but they need a goal a minute. It's not happening. Some to that effect.
Towel power play for Boston. They are 0 for their first 2 on the advantage with a combined 3 shots and an empty netter for Minnesota. From 200 feet away, Sophie Jakes has got another. It's a jailbreak goal, shorthanded, and it's 7.
A shorthanded jailbreak goal. Oh, they empty netted it. 7.
From 200 feet away.
Now they did talk about the most goals scored in a game. It was the Ottawa Frost game that we saw earlier in the year, the 8-3 game.
Scored 8 against these Frosts back in mid-February, and talk about an exclamation mark on the regular season.
The Ottawa one was definitely more impressive than this is, because I mean, 2 of these goals were empty net. Oh, I can't. Hey, they scored! Oh, just 6 more of those.
Boston's on the board, and the fans erupt.
She gets the puck out on the point, keeps it in, and watch how she crosses over.
6 more to go, baby.
Rips the puck, able to
If I'm Montreal, I'm picking Minnesota.
for the Boston Fleet, also puts it up.
I looked at it. I looked at it in eyes of Toronto. What team makes the most sense for Montreal to pick? Right, Toronto, you could pick. It's 50-50, right? You just lost to Ottawa. You wanted to be vengeful. Or you just hand them to Montreal, let Montreal take care of them, and then face Montreal later. If you're Montreal, though, I don't think it really matters. We could see. I'm probably gonna pick Ottawa because they're like the weaker team. Minnesota is a good team. They just had a huge slump middle of the season. And that's why they just plummeted. Right? If they didn't have that slump, I mean, it's just they'd probably be third. Wrap around, nope. But you know, for Toronto, it makes sense to pick either team. You know, Montreal, it doesn't really matter. I don't think. And I say as if Toronto is first place, because first place gets to pick who they want to play. I don't really like that, but it is what it is.
Zomwinkle tries a shot. Peslarova able to cover up 8 seconds after her last save. And Minnesota is 8 seconds closer to officially clinching that 4th and final playoff spot. Boston will miss the playoffs for the first time in their team history after taking Minnesota the distance in the PWHL Finals last year. Maloney sprung ahead, backhand shot. Hensley, a huge save as she rolls onto her back. McQuigg, what a move. Gonna take some more time off the clock here and battle Brown in the corner. Gigi, it's gonna be heartbreak in the Boston locker room, but really just such little separation between the middle of the pack this year, really between the entire 6 teams. And Boston, despite not making the playoffs, certainly took some steps in some areas this year. Hillary Knight, a huge increase in scoring. Found Peslarova as a quality backup. And what do you think the message is, or maybe the summary of Boston's season that's going to fall just short of a playoff berth?
Yeah, it's so tough because I mean, you just feel the devastation, you feel the disappointment, and it's so immediate. You can't quite get past that. Of course, you want to just honor and thank the teammates next to you, your coaches, your staff, and
if you were
just
like
do
me
the absolute best you can in the off season to
cheap
put your
$10 or $20 wireless lavalier mics work with the. If you were like me and you were wanting to know if one of these cheap $10 or $20 wireless lavalier mics work with the GoPro, they do not. You will in fact have to buy GoPro headphone jacks. If you were like me and you were wanting to know if one of these cheap $10 or $20 wireless lavalier mics work with the GoPro, they do not. You will in fact have to buy GoPro headphone jacks. If you were like me and you were wanting to know if one of these cheap $10 or $20 wireless lavalier mics work with the GoPro, they do not. You will in fact
Eight 1. It's over.
8 goals as they close in on their 10th regulation win. One more than Boston's 9.
And Mironova, another player getting her first goal. You see this big celebration that came from that.
I'm over here doing my research
For her getting the first goal.
for another video.
Back on the bench, her first goal
But
of her PWHL career after Jessica DiGirolamo scored her.
hey man, it's not over yet. Still a chance, technically.
Final 40 seconds. Petrie knocking at the door for more. Babstock gets it to the neutral zone, and Gia. Here's Babstock. Babstock trying to work through, and Pepper Hensley. DiGirolamo bounces a puck in. 5 seconds left. Minnesota, who needed 2 regulation wins in their final 2 games of the season, get just that. They are the 4th and final team into the PWHL playoffs. And Boston
is eliminated. Montreal, we're going to go Montreal here. 3-0. I don't think I'm going to watch this game. It really means nothing. It's a meaningless game unless you're a fan of these. Yeah. Cool. Fuck. All right, here are the standings for the Montreal. Will be able to pick between Ottawa and Frost. It will be first seed, second seed are the same. Ottawa in the 3rd, Minnesota in the 4th. We will wait and see. It starts on the 7th. It starts Wednesday. So we'll just have to wait and see who they pick. All right, chat. That's all right. So Montreal will get to pick between Ottawa and Minnesota. The standings will be. Well, let's try to refresh them. Okay, still needs to update, but Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, Minnesota. Those are the seedings in that order. 1 through 4. Boston eliminated. New York's been eliminated. Playoffs start on Wednesday. It is currently a Saturday. My birthday is on a Monday. Which sucks, but yeah. That's the season. But there's still playoffs. Alright. What a disaster. Alright. I'm gonna go. I got things to do. What are those things? There are videos I need to edit. I need to do some research for another video. Walk around the house a little bit. I woke up. I've been awake for 3 hours, 38 minutes. And I've been live for 3 hours, 31 of those minutes.